Yep.
Yes. Yep.
Hell yeah. That's only going to get better after they put in this last USA tournament. And actually, I might go over 1,500. They might switch me over to pro, actually.
When?
After this next USA tournament that just happened on Saturday.
I want to know how the points work.
You want to
I can tell
understand,
you.
like, the coefficient?
Yeah, I want to know what determines how many points you get, and
Well, when someone is ranked higher, you get more points, right? I mean, it's fair to assume that, and then it's some type of algorithm or some type of equation that it's pretty advanced. You know?
but I would like to know how that works.
Yeah, the specifics on that.
like
yeah, for sure.
20 points, 25 points, 30 points, whatever. Like
Right,
based
depending on
the
how
person
their
that
rank, where the rank is.
Right,
yeah.
right.
It's called the K factor. And at one point, Frank was saying that it's 28 at the most.
At the most.
At the most.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
So,
Do you know if that's based on if they're higher ranked than you are, or is there like a cutoff at a certain rank number?
It's something like every 20 points higher than you, right?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
How you get the number 28 as your advancement? You wouldn't get it from beating Tony Soto, who you outrank. You would gain
Right.
3 points.
If I beat, Corey West, I would get 28 points.
Yeah,
for beating Corey
but I
West.
mean, like, so what is that cut? Like, when does it start to? So it's got to be like 1,000. Like, so say you have a match against a guy that's
Label
ranked.
off and you're good.
Take the label off?
Yeah.
If you go against a guy that's ranked number 1,000, do you get 28 points?
But it's more ranked against their
1,000.
points.
Right. That's the question. What
Like,
degree?
where does that-
How much better do they?
Yeah,
How
have they
how
be-
much
have
better
to
does the
be.
rank need to be? Right.
Yeah. I think it's more so how many more points do they need to have than what rank. Both would obviously be plausible, but you would be more detailed by saying, if this person was a 1399, that gains me 5 points because he's 10 points higher than
Yeah,
me.
I see what you're saying.
Well,
So,
either way,
what is the term that they use here? Ian, can you scroll up to the top of that ranking? Because the very top, they tell you what those numbers are. So your
So-
position
John Brzezinski at first.
and then your rating.
yeah,
And how about Brent Rockers at number 5?
that's pretty wicked.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, he shows up tournaments and wins every weight class quite
And
often.
Tom
Yeah.
Nelson.
And a lot of this has to do with the tournaments you're competing in. Are they actually, compliant with the AERS if they actually are sending the brackets in? Because if you're competing somewhere where they're not sending in the brackets,
Which at
then
this
you're not
point,
gonna
though,
be
it's
on-
very
you're not gonna
few.
be likely to be as high.
But right now, it's very few.
So is that how it
Certain
works?
scenes like the
No, I think it's most tournaments now are sending their
That's why I said it's
brackets.
very few that are not.
aren't. Yeah.
Yeah, very few are
well,
not.
I don't know
So
about that. I
is
don't know
it-
about that. I think it's certain regions.
Well, yeah,
more
like New York
predominantly.
and Philadelphia.
Wyoming, like Colorado with Corey Miller area, Utah area is on it, Vegas area for sure, California area. I know a lot of those
All of
tournaments are
Texas is
but
on it. All of Florida
is
is
the
on it.
Northeast is
Everybody but the Northeast, because that guy doesn't like Corey.
I don't know. I see Mike.
What about like
Aiello
Florida
right
too?
there.
Because like Florida has their separate
Well,
league.
that's because
the
he's
Florida
competed
arm
everywhere.
wrestling, so I don't know.
Florida has fully adopted it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was my question: is it you have to submit to AERS, or does AERS scour?
You have to submit it to AERS.
Okay, so what happens is Corey will send you his system to put it in. If you use his bracket system, it's right away it loads to him. Boom, boom. You just click a button and it's send off to him. Or, which costs money, you have to buy his bracket system.
And it formulates the whole bracket,
Yep.
so you just put the
Dustin
entries
in
and it designs it for you.
If you don't want to use his bracket, he will take a paper submittal.
Okay,
Because there are still people using pen and paper.
it's crazy.
What the fuck are we talking about?
Crazy. So wait, you have
Yeah.
to like send it by snail mail?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they'll mail him. He showed me at his house. Y'all
Not,
aren't
not,
even ready.
not even
You wanna
email,
hear a
not even a
level-
picture, and
Yeah,
then on
yeah,
email.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Like,
You want to hear a
Take a
level of
picture and
dedication?
email it.
Listen to how
Actually
crazy.
put it in the mail.
Listen how crazy he is. I went to his back room. He has a trophy room, by the way. That is, I'm talking really the craziest shit I've ever seen with my own two eyes.
Who is this?
This is Corey Miller's
Corey
house.
Miller.
He's got this beautiful bar set up and really nice home. And it's trophies wall to wall to wall to wall, championship trophies, everything you can imagine, right?
Not surprised.
Then he has trophies that mean a lot to him, and they're behind the bar, and each one he can tell you a story about, which was really, really fun. And then he's like, do you want to see how many paper brackets I've entered into AERS.
Oh no, he brings out a giant U-Haul box.
He brought out 4 or 5 boxes completely full, filed full of paper.
Like an attorney.
And he's like, oh, you think it's only a couple in the box, right? It's 100 pounds a box of paper. And he sat and figured out the handwriting and did them manually.
Wicked.
Crazy.
It's a lot of work right there.
That's ridiculous.
That's a lot of work right there.
That's disgusting.
Wow. Who do you think was the?
What is his vision with this system? Does he want it to be the whole North American?
The vision of the
base
system
of rankings?
is that once his reality right now is not enough people talk about it. Like what he did at his tournament. Here's the real vision. He just did it at Wyoming State. When you entered the tournament, you also had to enter your rating number.
Oh.
Right? So you entered your rating number in, and next to your name, and then he seeded the brackets not randomly, but based on your rating number. So you arm wrestled guys at your level in your first round.
Okay.
And he's like Colorado State that's coming up is all seeded that way.
That's pretty cool.
So fresh versus fresh, you're going against the guys who are close to you on the
Yes.
rankings. See what happens.
And
there.
so
This is
big
the
boys
first
go
tournament
against
they're
big
doing
boys.
it at.
Well,
It's
they
Colorado
did.
State.
They did Wyoming State this way, but they didn't. But they didn't
and they did
like
super matches too for a ranking spot, correct?
that whole thing. The whole thing was built on this. But what that was done is people who highly outranked each other was their goal in that to see how accurate things fell into place. Right, like the guy I lost to is considerably higher ranked than me.
Yep.
And he smashed me. It was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's like 83% is about where they're seeing things in the events that they've thrown thus far while using that seeding.
Yeah.
But what you couldn't believe is how many people walked into Corey Miller's house to weigh in, and he asked them to pull it up, and they had no idea what AERS was, number one. Number two, they didn't even do it. They just weighed in and left.
Really?
Like it was his effort to get
Yeah.
people to check the site out, look at your rating, and them go, "Ooh, how neat!"
Yeah.
How many people I stood there next to and was like, "Oh, what's your ranking?" "Oh, I don't know." Well,
I definitely think it's interesting to look at. I was first aware of it probably, I want to say 6-7 months ago, maybe even longer. But I try not to obsess over the rankings too much personally. But
I don't at all. I'll get sick.
It is cool to kind of see the history of certain athletes, who they won and who they lost to.
So
to-
if I
to take a
know
look
I'm
at
going to
that, you
pull
know?
against someone good, right? There's someone I'm going to go against. I'll pull their AERS,
Right,
and I'll
right,
go
right,
see
right,
who
right.
they lost to, because you can look up every tournament they've pulled, and oh, you didn't win this tournament. Who beat you? Oh, I've beat him. Okay, this is
you
starting to
can-
give me an idea of where your
Play the
weakness
mental
lies.
gymnastics, see where you're at.
Well, like if you lose to a guy in a hook, you lose to a guy in a hook, you lose to a guy in a hook, and you won against all the top rollers, it's starting to give me an idea where I think I want to take the match.
Right.
Right? If I have the tools
Hey,
to fill.
that's a good way to look at
It's a
it.
scouting report.
It's a scouting
for
it's
arm wrestling.
100% a scouting report. It's gross.
Recruiting report. Yeah.
Yeah, like when I show guys this the first time, and I'm like, "Oh, who are you against? Do you know anybody he's arm wrestled?" No. What,
Why don't you
have
look it
you
up?
have you like done any looking around? Like,
For
let me show you
people-
AERS.
so
Here's
for-
all his matches.
Yeah, so for people that don't know, what is the name of this website?
So
It's AERSarm.com.
Okay.
right, and if you go to it, like, click on my name. This feels like I'm pulling my pants down. I'm not into it. Right, and like if you go to Right 242, go ahead and click Right 242. Right, and that's the show that I went to and competed at Right Hand 242, and then it shows my wins, and you can scroll all the way down, and one loss.
Yep. It's good. That's fantastic.
And you can see in each weight class too. For example, this
Right.
is 242. You
Yes.
can go down to when he's at 190 or
Yep.
when he's
Yep.
at was it 187, 198.
Yep.
See, I like how it shows the win percentage too.
It's
The amount of matches. I
Yeah.
definitely love the concept.
The
Definitely,
fact that
it's
you
got to
can
be.
so now you can click on Luis's name, and then it will take you to all of his matches.
Yeah, it's they did.
Right, you go from one person to the next
Yes.
just through looking
So,
at it, and you're
was
going
this-
down the rabbit hole of arm wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah, was this designed by Frank and Corey, or
Yeah.
was there somebody else that was also?
It's Frank and Corey.
So Frank Callahan,
Bob
and
Brown
Corey
has
Miller,
backed
Bob
them
Brown.
the whole way.
Okay,
And financially backed them too.
awesome.
Nice,
And I don't know
nice.
the extent of that by any means.
Yeah,
But yeah, like the guy I lost against, when you look at his, go down just a little bit, his right hand, he was 27-2. And that's why they were like, well, it's a big one for you to take.
That's pretty huge.
It's like,
That's
oh, that's
pretty
cool.
huge. So you just had that super match over there. Do you know? Does he plan on doing more events, the Corey Miller in Wyoming, or for the ranking system, or in
100%.
other states too? Or?
He's so one of my things that I was saying to him is, number one, you got to get it out of Wyoming and put it in a place we can fly to. I had to fly to Denver and then get to Wyoming. No airport.
Yeah.
Do it in some place like Vegas or Austin, Texas, where it's central.
Hey, that's a good place.
Yeah.
Not biased.
Yeah, I mean, he agrees. He thinks that there's a big end goal, and the end goal is that all tournaments seed this way. And everybody used the same bracket system, and it's unflawed in that way.
I can't wait for them to start using this for East versus West and all these Easterners. You
Awesome.
know,
The
because people are
recruiting
always
database to see where the Americans
well,
line
definitely
up.
that, but also they're always trying to figure out who's in the top 10, right? And they're doing these mental gymnastics, or they're doing the whole rock paper scissors, right? Who beats who? This person beat this person, and this person beat them this time. Therefore, this person beats them.
This
and
promotion, these rule set,
and you talk about a
whatever.
rabbit hole. It's like you can waste a
it
lot of
gets
time
crazy.
talking
It gets
about
crazy.
hypotheticals.
Oh,
when
and
if
it's
you just
nothing
had the
hypothetical.
data right here, it'd be pretty clear.
Yeah.
So they're thinking in 10 years it's clear.
Yeah,
In North America.
That's just for North America.
Yeah, it's going to take a long time
Yeah,
to
yeah,
flush
yeah.
itself out.
You just need the data.
But it's cool that they went back, and I think that whole 100 pounds of paper that you saw was like
That's the
really
past.
old tournaments. And I think it's fucking cool that they
Yeah,
put
that's
that
from
in.
Leonard and Denise.
Yeah, that's crazy that they kept all that. they have like a storage container somewhere that's just
I couldn't even believe it
you
was
know,
real when you
yeah,
pulled it out.
That's crazy.
Like, there's a lot of money you'd have to pay me to do that full time.
Yeah.
So we got a new co-host with us here today, Tom Stubblebine.
It's the stubble bind.
Why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
About myself, I've been
Yeah.
arm wrestling since 2019. Did my first tournament then. It was about June 2019 with like a month or so of training. I ended up winning amateur left, got second on right. I've been hooked since. Coming into the sport, I have a background of just lifting weights and just being strong in the gym, and coming into the sport thinking I'm going to crush people. And then there's this guy, Mark Sarr. He's a 150-pound dude in Bakersfield, California, where I started arm wrestling, and he would just super competitive dude, but we would go back and forth, and I was just like, how is this guy beating me? You know,
That's
so-
Ian. That's Ian Wagner for us.
right. So you guys can all relate to that, and then
Does
you
he
just get
compete?
hooked. Yeah. He's an OG, Mark Sarr.
a little
If you know,
curious
like
what happens
Herman
if you type his
Stevens
name in
used
there.
to. I'm sure he'll be up there.
Yeah. Ian,
but
can you type in
I
his
don't think
name?
he's competing too much. Recently, he had a
do you
couple
spell his last
kids
name?
recently and stuff. But
How do you spell
it's
his last name?
MARC and then SAAR. One of my first training partners. Also, Ricky Garay. He's still competing out there in California.
You're failing right now.
Yep, that's correct there. Just get rid of the first part there. And then the space. Space.
That's
between
the
the
difference.
mark.
Sar is his last name. I
Yeah,
think.
that's it right there. Yeah, but
Nice.
Cool.
He's too little for that weight class.
yeah, he's a 160 pound guy.
Oh, he has a lot on here.
He just competes.
He
He
competes.
doesn't give a damn.
He competes every weight class.
242 plus. He's like, yep, sign me up.
That's crazy. I don't even know when that was.
Yeah.
He's been arm wrestling a while, but yeah.
That's awesome, man.
You get introduced to the technical aspects, and then you realize it's more than just a strength game. There's the technique, the tendon strength, and it's just a lot more. It's a combat sport
it's
as well.
combat sport.
And strength sport.
Biggest,
so.
that's the biggest thing that I've noticed so far from arm wrestling, which a lot of people don't realize. Most people are used to seeing it in a bar, like, oh, just guys, get drunk and arm wrestle. It's like, no, man, this is like MMA, any martial art. This is
Yeah.
like
It's a legit sport.
It's a 100, and I'm like, why the fuck is it not in the Olympics? Why is it not mainstream?
It's starting to get a lot more recognition now. You see with social media, thanks to guys like Larry Wheels, even Brian Shaw. He just had the Shaw Classic. He just had some matches on that.
Juju Mufu.
I think Derek
Juju
Smith was out there for that.
The Whisperer Etney, Jesus
On
Christ.
TikTok, blowing up. Yeah.
Massive.
Well, and it's funny because a lot of those guys, like, it looks like they started it because it was like trending. Now they can't stop.
Well, that's what the
right?
sport does.
Yeah, it fucking pulls you in.
Yeah.
you know,
I started on a bet.
Yeah.
Like, I started in a gym working out as just a training guy, and a little dude offered me $60 to arm wrestle him.
Yeah.
And it was how that team went about doing recruiting.
Right.
is they expect every new guy has to go challenge somebody once they feel ready.
Right.
Go to the local gym, you challenge somebody bigger than you. He challenged me, and I showed up and smacked him.
Yeah.
I didn't even want his money. Right. I was like, y'all have a ref shirt on. This is a real table. This is like, and then the coach, he was an ex-pro baseball player.
Oh, nice.
Smashed me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, God, I need to be here. Yeah. And I was like you. I competed like 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. And I won left and right, and I was addicted.
Especially when you have a competitive personality, I think you just get hooked on it, you know. And it's not a team sport, although there is a significant amount of camaraderie and community in terms of like the teams you practice with and you hang out with, and because your training partners are your weights in arm wrestling. So if you have strong people to train with, you're going to level up with that. Just look at like the Georgian arm wrestlers, for example. There's a new Georgian arm wrestler that pops up every freaking week. Sagnashvili. There's another one every month or so, and they're just it's crazy, man.
And their dominance in the sport is pretty undeniable.
Man, the East, man.
Yeah, in general.
You think it's a cultural thing? Do you think it's because the government sponsors and pays a lot of their athletes to compete well in the WAF championship?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Because they don't have the NFL.
Right. Well,
Their baddest athletes.
Or the NBA and the MLB and the NHL.
If you took right now, if you were able to encapsulate a moment and take the best, say, NFL linemen and go back 18 years, and now all they do is arm wrestle, and they go against any of these guys right now. Jesus.
The gene pool we have here in America is humongous. Because if you think about it, Georgia, I think has a population probably less than 10 million, to be honest. We have over 300 million. But like you said, they're going into NBA, NFL, MLB, where the money's at.
Right.
And
or
they're
even
monsters.
UFC.
Well, how about just what they grow up doing?
Right.
It's not arm wrestling.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which is why, like, Angerbayev, he grew up on
Yeah, look at Kazakhstan, for example, with the little kids doing the pronation.
It's a cultural
You've seen the
thing.
documentaries on that, right? It's just like little 8-year-olds.
sport?
Yes.
Because I for some reason, I remember hearing that arm wrestling was
Yeah, Kazakhstan has got to be one of the best arm wrestling countries. When I think of arm wrestling countries, I think of Kazakhstan, I think of Georgia, Bulgaria, Ukraine, Russia, Turkey.
Yeah, you get into it when you're really young. That's normal.
I think of.
like jiu-jitsu, right? You start 4 years old is the youngest you can start. And it looks like they do the same thing in those countries, in those Eastern countries. They're like 4 years old, get on the
because they even have the junior classes for the WAF, which actually, I don't know if you guys saw, but Bacho Saganashvili just won right and left in his junior category, and I think he's going to do the Open. I believe that's this upcoming weekend. So not only is he doing the junior, but also Open. He won dominantly, too. His hand is ridiculous.
Have you seen the practices that he's been going
Yes.
He's smoking these Open.
Yeah. Huge hand. Some of the bicep curl videos. I mean, he's done sheet curls, but it's with like 300 pounds.
It's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Just for someone so young.
People who are casuals will hate on that, but even to get that type of weight up and just lock it out is stupendous.
I've been a strength and conditioning coach as a profession, and 1,000,000%, it's always the guy who has no biceps that complains about cheat curls.
Yeah.
His little bitch-ass arms, and he's like, well, that's cheating. He's not doing it right.
You can't even get
Keyboard warrior.
Yeah, you have a hard
They're
time
called
putting a
keyboard
plate
warriors.
on the bar.
Yeah.
Stop,
Their fingers are itching to type on that keyboard. They're trembling. They're
Ruthless
ready
dudes. Ruthless.
Let's say that it does become an Olympic sport. What do you think happens to the athletes, the U.S. athletes that we see at tournaments competing in arm wrestling?
What do you mean by that?
I think there's a gain, but I don't
how
think
much
it's
attention
that
is now
significant. Unless you
drawn
bring it to
toward
schools.
arm wrestling
It's growing.
when it's under the
I'm
Olympic spotlight?
I think you would
no
have
money.
Olympians crossing over because
That's what I'm saying. How
I
many,
don't know.
how many
I don't know if
retired
it-
football players?
I don't know if
that
it
are
has to
300
be in the
pounds?
Olympics for it to grow in exposure, though, because we're already seeing it grow in exposure. I don't think just because it's in the Olympics it has to be officially. Then it's an official sport. Like we're seeing it grow, like just in the gym in general. Like I'm doing exercise, I get approached all the time.
There are lots of
from
things you can
people.
do to make it grow in popularity. I think Olympics is one of them. One of them is social media.
Oh,
For
that's
sure.
one of them for sure.
One of them's putting on ESPN, some huge sports network. That's one. Making an Olympic sport is for sure another way to grow the popularity.
All of these things.
A lot
should
of ways
be-
to
gonna
grow.
put a lot of
ways.
eyes on
a lot
it.
of opportunities
I
for it to
think
grow. Yeah.
one of the problems is like making it a spectacle for spectators. It's hard to do because you have to know we love it because we do it. We understand what's happening.
Oh, what
so
a
it's
change,
like you
yeah.
watch like judo, right? Like most people won't watch Olympic judo because they're like, well, the guy's just throwing the other guy. Like, what am I actually watching?
Yeah.
But then you'll have the divide between the hardcore like fans of the sport, or people in the sport, and then people who say, oh, WAL, they're using a pillow pad. The rules aren't even strict. You're gonna have the people who want the strict rules, and the people who are a little bit more lenient and want it to be more of a show and more engaging, more exciting, less
That is
strict
hard.
on the calls when it comes to the refs. Fouling people out and stuff like that.
It has to become universal. It's the
Yeah,
same thing. Jiu-jitsu, same problem they have.
Marcus and I talk about all the time about rules and having a unified rule set. Because a lot of these, I mean, you can watch 3 different tournaments in an hour, and they have completely different rules.
So you're a jiu-jitsu guy, right?
Yes, sir.
So UFC and one championship, different
Yep,
rules, correct?
Different rules, so it's different champions.
It comes down to the organization, right? How do you make one universal rule set? You know what I mean? Because there's always going to be other. It comes down to where the money is, right?
Right,
I mean,
right,
that's what it comes
right,
down
yeah,
to, right?
yeah.
But we're seeing how UFC is successful, but it seems like one is being very successful in the
But one's
fight
Well,
arguably
so-
more successful.
even more in,
I
in
think-
the Asian area.
But I think so for people watching, UFC's more entertaining. It gets more viewers. One is great for the athletes because they pay more. That's one
They
of the
pay the
biggest
athletes
problems.
more? Oh,
Way
okay.
more. So that's why people are going to ONE FC.
Okay.
Is because they're getting paid for what they
Okay.
think they're worth. But UFC's been around for so long that it's like you hear UFC whatever match Friday night, Saturday night, whatever. You're gonna probably try to watch it.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Well, and their
Exciting
marketing-
match. It's
their-
hyped up.
Their
the
marketing's
marketing.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's so
trash
good.
talk.
It's so good. Yeah.
I don't know that the best guy in one makes more than, say, Connor. Mm-hmm. I don't know that that's accurate.
No. I'm saying if you're not a champion.
If you're not a champion. Yeah.
You're getting paid more than
So
you're
it's
not
like
The
a
average
chasing the
athlete.
dream.
The average athlete has a
If you're
better
dream
wage.
chasing,
Yeah.
then
You
you're
wanna
going
be-
to
yeah,
you're going to
want-
fight the best guys in the
Yeah,
world.
right.
Which, not that one doesn't have great guys; they have
No, they
fantastic,
do. Yeah,
but
yeah.
not
But
the
not
best right
the
now.
best guys, 'cause
If their
everybody-
top
You want
guys
the
came over,
ultimate
they'll
glory
lose.
UFC, but if you want just a good wage,
Yeah,
then
you go to
one.
one.
Huh?
A basic wage.
Yeah. That's why everybody tries to get into East versus West, right? Like everybody's like
Basic wage.
East versus West.
And it seems like a lot of this is region oriented too. We can draw a parallel to arm wrestling. We're seeing AWE with that Asian region, them
Yeah.
trying to get a lot of the Indian athletes, and I'm pretty sure the one is like a lot of that Asian region
And
too,
Lothian.
right?
It
They
is,
got the
it
Lothian
is.
athletes
yeah,
over there.
Yeah, the one is you'll see a lot of Muay Thai guys in there because that's the region of the
Yep.
world
Where
that
it's
they're
bigger.
capturing. They're
Huge.
captivating.
Like Thailand.
And they're
Yes.
doing those matches.
Yes.
Where they're taking wrestling out of the game.
Yeah.
And
right.
they'll be
right.
like,
They
oh,
will-
we're going to only do a Muay Thai fight.
I saw one where it's like each round changes, right?
Yes.
It's like kickboxing and then like
Yep, they're
and then
allowed to wrestle in
That's
round
pretty
two.
cool.
That's
That's
pretty
pretty
They
cool.
just did it with Demetrius Johnson.
Yep. It's good. It's cool. It's different.
cool.
It's different. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the rule set depends on what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, that's-
I think if you're putting this on some major sports network, the rules need to be set up so that the match is as entertaining as possible, which is what they try to accomplish with WAL rule
to
set.
get as much advertisements and
now
retention
East
of the
versus-
audience.
East versus
Money.
West
Yeah.
rule set, yeah. But then if you're doing like a local tournament,
Yeah, of all the arm
You
wrestling
can't
I've watched,
do lenient
WAL's
rules.
the best.
Right.
For me.
Right.
But it only works when it's just a super match with two guys. That's the main event, and you're not trying to get through a bunch of matches
Yeah.
because those are not conducive to trying to do things quickly. And
Yeah, if it was Michael Todd versus Jerry Carteret for like
Yeah, an
10 of
8-round
those
match.
matches,
Yeah.
going back and forth,
not
looking
8
at the
round,
at
8 minute.
the,
Wasn't
at the
it like an
replay.
8-minute round? Or
I'm
something?
done. I'm not arm wrestling anymore.
Like no.
Yeah, I think that when I of all the stuff I've watched at this point, and I never watched arm wrestling before I arm wrestled. I had no idea it was even a thing.
I did.
I didn't watch even one.
I
I've been
did.
Devon,
I did
yeah,
watch
I've been
arm wrestling.
following
I
Devon
watched
for years.
Devon Larrett
Yeah, me
highlights
too.
on
Lots
WAL.
of
Him
WAL,
trash talking,
yes,
and then
yeah.
Well, that's because 10 years
as
ago,
a
when you
kid.
looked up best arm wrestler in the world, it was Devon.
Yeah.
Devon's
Yeah,
videos
well,
were coming up for me.
yeah. Devon,
years
Devon,
ago.
Yeah,
Devon
I was
the
so
guy.
lame.
Devon.
I never once even typed anything.
Well, for
like
me,
that.
it was watching ESPN and
Maybe
whatever
more than
WA
10 years ago.
Yeah, WAL. Yeah,
That's crazy.
WA, I was like, what? And obviously over the top. As a kid watching that.
Yeah, I
was
watched
like
that, and I
everything.
watched
then-
Pulling John.
Pulling
Yeah,
John.
Pulling John. But
Pulling John,
so
yeah.
I watched Pulling John 2 years before I started thinking about getting into arm wrestling. I saw that and I was like, I need to get into it.
I saw Pulling
I actually
John,
only
and
saw
I
it
used to
after
tell
getting into
people.
it.
I would tell people this is probably the best documentary I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And
It's
I didn't
fantastic.
so
I didn't even
It's
know what arm
literally-
wrestling was.
yeah.
It just was
Fantastic.
like
Yeah,
you have
that's
these
funny.
3 amazing.
Yes.
Like this wasn't written.
Yes.
This is real
So good.
humans.
You know what? I
Crazy.
can't wait to see the documentary on Devon, which
I
is going
can't
to come
wait.
out at some
That's-
point.
yeah.
I'm waiting for that. They've been hyping that up.
Who made that? Was it Stallone?
Well, Stallone is the money
His
behind
company?
it.
About him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The company
Yeah,
that-
he's the money,
Dude.
which is real
Pretty
money.
cool.
It had
looking
to
forward
have
to that.
changed
Fitting.
Devon's
Of course,
life.
it's Sly, doing the.
We saw even Levon Sagnashvili in an action movie with the machine gun.
I
Look
watched
at
the movie.
fucking
Haley,
Jack.
my wife was like, "Is that?" And I was like, "That's Lamar."
I thought it was pretty woke how they had a woman kill him.
They did.
I didn't even watch the movie. I just
Like, get out of here with this.
that's hilarious though. Yeah,
Yeah, he's in
very
there,
Hollywood.
Just a big goon. Just
Yeah, they
Just
made
a
him.
dumb brute. Yeah, he doesn't have anything in that brain of
Nothing
his.
in
Not
the
like he's a
brain.
world
Yeah, yeah,
champion.
right,
You know,
right. I know,
business
I know.
opportunities and intellect.
You know?
hard work and discipline.
Yeah,
no, he's
right,
just a
right.
dumb
No,
brute.
just a big
Kill him
dummy.
off.
Yeah.
There is a
I know,
video
I know.
somewhere of him and Chris Hemsworth arm wrestling
Yeah.
That's
because I saw a still of it.
yeah.
They were doing it in the air though. They were just kind of.
Well, yeah. So feeling each other out.
Yeah.
But you know,
would
he got
rip
on the table with him.
Oh,
Like on a kitchen
You
table.
know what was badass? I got to arm wrestle John Jones.
What?
Yeah, that
Where?
was Sin City Iron Gym over in Las Vegas.
That's pretty
and really
I'd
fun. He was
probably
in there
suck
training.
a dick to arm wrestle John Jones. I'm just saying.
Dude, it was incredible.
That's incredible.
It was so much fun. It
I
was,
thought Boss Rootin' at that expo was pretty cool.
It was so cool, man. I was starstruck.
oh yeah. What was that
Wrestling
expo?
boss
What was
route.
the
The Fit Expo in Austin.
Austin Fit
Fest.
Expo?
Austin Fit Fest. Yeah. Seeing him was.
Boss, imagine
Was
you're
pretty
arm wrestling Boss Rootin' walks up to you. I'd be like, "Oh, what's up?"
Yeah, I tried to get him on the table, and his arms all like messed up, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
He said he got hurt arm wrestling.
Really?
wow.
Yeah, and he said a little dude cranked him, and he's too competitive.
Yeah.
And he just
And he
was like,
just-
I have to go
yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah.
And he kept going until the guy hurt him.
That's
And
a
it
lot
was
of
a nerve
times what
damage.
happens with beginners is because, especially when they're strong. Like
Yeah.
me, for example, I popped my tendon being like, because I was just trying to tricep press someone. I was strong enough to do it until the tendon went
tendon
pop.
was
You
like,
know what I
nope.
mean? So
Yeah. How did
feel
John
like-
feel?
I was coaching him through it. I was just controlling his hand and stuff like that. He's got a long lever. He would murder me in a fight, but I pretty comfortable
Yeah,
on the
that's
table.
good.
And that was like
That's
2
good.
years ago. But it was so awesome just talking to him.
What did his strength feel like?
It was a while
Mostly
ago,
hand,
but
not wrist.
I mean, just your
button,
average
I guess.
Like
beginner.
just
He's a
normal
strong
person.
dude.
Yeah.
But you could just
neutral.
peel his hand.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, yeah. it's
Yeah,
just-
because I mean, he's
a
just a
beginner, yeah.
phenomenal
Right,
genetic.
Yeah.
Like he's genetically gnarly.
He's got
gifted.
super long arms.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
Big
long
hands.
arms. Big hand too.
lot of
Yeah.
wrist.
Yeah.
But his whole family.
But his
like,
his competitive mindset is
yeah.
what's
It's probably out of control.
aspiring. Because I was in there, I actually remember that day. I was like going hard on the training. I was like not in a good place, so I was like aggressive. I was like training hard, like hyped up. And then like they walk in. It was him and Stan Efferding. They walk in and then they were just kind of doing their workout, and I was just going hard. I was like, holy shit, is that John Jones? But I was just focusing on my workout. He actually came up to me and he was like, "You're doing that arm wrestling stuff." He was like, "Oh, he was super chill." And then I'm like, "Yeah, we got to get on the table." I knew you were gonna come up to me, is like what I said. And we got on the table. I was just like trying to summon it, going hard, trying to summon his energy and his
yeah.
competitive spirit.
Yes, I
seeing
love that
I was
for you.
in there,
Yeah, that's
and then he came up and we got on the table, dude. It was so much fun. But yeah,
Badass.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Incredible.
Speaking of champs, how about our new heavyweight world champ?
Let's go.
Devon.
It's
Devon
pretty
Larratt,
huge.
taking out Ermes.
Yeah, let's talk about, do you guys think mental warfare was a part of that game, and would it have been different if Ermes did not hang out with Devon for a week beforehand?
That's got to be draining. It's got to be draining because you're just it's your energy is
Stay
just
in the
getting sucked out
hotel
of you,
and just come in and compete.
I think it's easier for someone who is English first language to deal with Devon, but second language,
Another huge factor.
It's hard because you're like, is he trying to be mean to me or is he just joking? Or,
On the contrary to that, I feel like Gennady handled that better than anyone else. Gennady did not give
because
a fuck what Devon was saying. He was
Gennady's
just,
grown.
laughing.
yeah.
The term I would use is grown.
Yeah, Gennady.
Where
doesn't
by
give
the
a
end of
fuck,
this
yeah.
match, one of the things that I took away
Gennady's
from
a
it
fighter.
is They hug at the end, and it was almost like Devon had daddied him by the end of the match,
Big time.
had mentored him.
Yeah.
And then
Like,
he
this is
lost, and he
how
was
you
just like losing to your dad. He was just
Yeah,
hugging
like
me.
Ermes
And it
almost
starts
looked
with the
happy
trash
to
talk.
lose
It
to
didn't
him.
start on the table. It started
It did, you're
before with him just getting
By
his
the
head,
very
you're
end
gonna
of
be
it, he was
crying.
happy
and
it's
it
over.
even
Right.
it subconsciously manipulates the referees when he's saying, Ermes is going to cry. So then they're like looking over him. Is he going to try and advantage, get an
get
advantage
the-
and set
yeah,
up? So then
he's
they're like looking at him a little more harshly. It seems like,
Dude, once I saw Ermes get flash pinned and just smile once he lost the match, I was like, this match is over before it started.
Yeah, it was. I think it was over from Ermes' first foul when Devon pinned him.
We're looking at round one here.
Before they even came to the table, dude, if Ermes has that mentality, then
But
Yeah,
it was
a lot
so
of arguing in the
interesting
setup.
watching Prudnick's match. I think the same thing happened. I think Devon beat
He
his
was
fucking
defeated
ass, and
already.
then Prudnick went to Canada to train, didn't he? Didn't he fly to Canada like after that?
I don't know.
No, I think he made a post saying that he was going, or he got his
and he
Canadian
did?
visa, but I don't think he
Okay.
actually
Oh,
did.
I remember he was
Yeah.
gonna be get a visa.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I don't
anyway,
think
the
he
reason why I said that is because Prudnick, his endurance showed through in his match. He wasn't really strong, but he withstood
Yeah.
and ended up coming
Prudnick
back.
is known for endurance. Have you seen him versus Pascal Gerard
Yeah.
in just like a 10-minute match? Insane.
let's go through this round by round.
Yeah, so
We got round one here.
First round, Ermes with one foul.
Yeah. And so,
Devon.
pause it real quick, because I want to talk about this first foul. It was 2 warnings combined into a foul for moving in the ref's grip. If you remember, he regripped a couple times. He was moving, jockeying around for a grip. Ref gives him 2 warnings. That turns into a foul. Okay? And then, once they restart the match, still without a strap, there's tons of back pressure from Devon. You can see Ermes comes forward, tries to like do some kind of weird press. Elbow comes off the front of the pad. Ref calls a foul, says winner, and you can see the surprise on Ermes' face right here.
Right there, boom.
Once he sees the ref call winner, he's like, oh,
So that was Devon slipping
forgotten.
out and pulling Hermes' elbow off the pad there a little bit, huh?
More-
But to me, they look like
it's more
Hermes
like
is-
Ermes goes forward and fouls.
Well,
See right there?
he has a dominant position out of the strap here. I mean, you see Devon is desperately trying to slip
to
out,
run,
right?
yeah.
And
Which is
he's
why
trying
he's
to
going
explode.
for
Well,
it.
he's trying to exploding hand and go
yep,
forward
yep,
and
totally.
crush down. But
he got a
elbow
foul,
Yeah.
and it was the second one. And I don't know if
that's
he
a loss,
he
yeah.
didn't remember that first foul happened and didn't
He-
realize
That's
it was a
a-
loss.
I don't
and
think
you don't want to be
remembered.
losing the first match against Devon. That's for damn sure.
No.
Well, I think there was so much going on before that. There's no way he
See,
remembered.
the thing about pulling
Exactly.
Devon,
No
is
way
you just,
we
it just
I
there's,
wouldn't.
Yeah.
there's such
in
a
that moment.
Yeah, Devon just being at the table
there's such
looking
a
at him.
cloud of just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just
Yeah.
disorganization and just fighting. It's just like a fog of war almost.
Adrenaline,
And Devon's
yeah.
a veteran. He's comfortable in this
Right,
war
right, right.
Very
situation.
I also, one of the things Devon was saying about the match in general is, he would just hang on to me, and it was an amateur-ass move. Like, he
Yeah.
pulled himself off the front of the pad because he hung on like he was going to win that.
That is an amateur
Where the
move.
whole time Devon's like, you're
Damn.
not going to win that. Like, it's not my, my first
Right.
or 18th
If
year.
he wants to slip, he's gonna slip.
yeah, he's going to slip,
Even
of
if
course.
it's Levant.
I mean, we all know that Devon's not holding on. Like, why would you
Never.
go for it?
He
That's
says it all.
stupid.
That's like the number one.
And
it's the
Ermes
second
does
rule,
the
I
exact
think,
same
right?
thing here in the
Yes.
second round, but he didn't foul that time.
Yeah, right.
And
a
Devon
lot of
just
people
slips
say
out.
the best way to beat Devon is out of the strap. That could potentially
But
be
good
why
luck,
he's
right?
saying
Good
that.
luck.
Good
By the
luck.
way, that's
good
an-
luck for sure. You're gonna
That's
need
an
it.
intentional slip
That
from
was
Devon,
it, dude.
And,
And
they're
I
not
said
calling
this.
those.
I said
Every
it
time he
while it was
slips,
happening.
it's with a
Every single
fist.
time, it's a fist.
Yep.
And people are like, "What are you talking?" Like Alex Candelaria, he was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Bro, he's letting go and balling his fist up
Right.
under Ermes'
there, yeah.
Ermes' hand." And slipping out, and he's like, "You can't do that." I was like, "No."
Well, I
It's
mean, they make up their
intentional.
own rules. you
Yeah,
know?
that's, which
And
is-
if you're trying to make rules that are conducive to entertainment,
Yeah,
And that would
you-
mean
that's-
that all slips go to strap.
just go
Yeah,
to a
it's-
strap.
yeah.
Makes sense.
And then we see Hermes in that second round just losing his wrist almost right off the go. Devon with that high hook position.
Yeah.
This is my favorite moment in the whole game.
100%. There's a lot
Because,
that
yeah,
goes
because
on.
This is the fight here.
because he goes sideways and wins center by let's call it a couple inches.
There's a couple inches.
Yeah.
which he sacrifices his wrist.
He wins. He takes him to the winning side, but he gave up his wrist to do it.
He did the amateur move.
He got
right?
excited.
Like
Isn't
that's
it?
what we're starting to
he
learn.
didn't
I'm
fight.
starting to
Isn't
learn.
it?
Is like, don't, because it feels good, do not.
Win the
and-
center.
Yeah. Well,
Then go to the
Devon,
side.
Always
Devon's-
be climbing.
Yeah. Always be climbing.
You see Devon getting the high position.
what
That's,
he's doing.
that's from climbing, not holding on,
See him?
pronating,
Yes.
rising, hitting the fingers. Ermes
Immediately
busts
took his wrist.
his wrist back,
Devon's fresh.
and
this
then
is
we
not.
see the transition.
Yeah, this is
getting
not a
his shoulder
400-pound
behind it
Levon that runs out of gas.
Right.
This is
Right.
Devon. You know.
Yeah.
with that textbook transition.
Fresh.
It's
Yeah.
incredible.
I mean, magic.
Beautiful.
That's a
And then
work
hugs his
work
son.
of art right there.
Crazy, man.
Pretty magic.
Yeah.
Like,
And then already in that third round, Ermes was too pumped. You could just see he was just getting flashed in that third round.
So he's just making mistake after mistake. After
well,
mistake.
I think that's part of the mind games that Devon was doing. He was
Yep.
making Ermes chase him. And he always says, do not chase. Do not take what's given to you.
Yeah.
And Ermes was literally, I know I can beat you outside the strap. I'm going to chase you on the other side of the table.
You
and
know,
it fucked him.
they're actually when they said go right there, they started off on Ermes' side of the table.
Yeah.
So Ermes' back pressure
His
was
back
greater
pressure was-
than
yep.
Devon's.
And that's why I said I think Ermes' back
He
pressure
went sideways
was,
too
but he
soon.
went
See?
sideways way too soon.
yeah,
And Devon's waiting. He's
Yep,
waiting
yep.
because he knows he can bust it back if he pushes sideways.
This is exactly the fight. Like when I arm wrestled with Bob Brown, one of the things we were jockeying for at the table is both of us back pressure. And he drops far back and he starts back pressuring you, back pressuring you. His hand gets high. He starts to crack your wrist. And then he drives sideways. And then I cracked his. And he was like, nope, too soon. He pulled it back.
back.
Yep.
Comes back.
And then we fought again. He went too soon, where I was able to turn him over.
Right.
Hand
like you win the
position
match in
before
the middle
side
of the table.
pressure.
Yeah.
and
We
let-
just fought right in the center through patience, and I was like, please don't search Justin.
Right.
Please don't search Justin.
Yeah.
Stay
Right.
on it because I'm strong. Everything's fine. He's starting to crack me.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I want to try and see this knuckle. I would want to, as he surges, I would turn his wrist over and
Right.
he'd pull back.
Right.
Which was this like weird dance we were doing in
Right.
the middle.
Well, so-
where we're coming back and forth on each other, elbowing forward, elbowing back.
Yeah.
It was
so
interesting.
there's something
Hand
in
position is
jiu-jitsu
everything,
that
I
they
mean.
talk about is position before submission.
Yes, it's everything.
Every new jiu-jitsu practitioner, when you learn a bunch of submissions, like you want to do them all the time. Like you like will forget everything else to try to jump to submit somebody. Then you lose your position. Now you're in a bad position. You usually get submitted. So it's always better to establish your position before you try to pin or submit somebody.
Same exact
It's the
concept
same
in
shit
arm
here,
wrestling.
dude.
There's so many
Yeah.
parallels.
Yeah,
That's why this
100%.
is a combat sport,
is,
and
it
people
is.
once they learn that, they get obsessed on it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
you
'Cause
win
you-
the match in the middle of the table.
Yeah. Your big brain takes over instead of the small brain.
Yeah, the rise, the icebreaker makes
Yes.
you more able to apply the side pressure. The hand positioning is critical.
Yeah.
And even if you're a Todd Hutchings style puller, you're still accessing your pronation just in a different way. But it's still the same basic principles. You know, like Todd is still rising,
Yes,
he's still
yep.
pronating, just in a different manner with his leverages.
Well, at East First West, didn't it look like he arm wrestled a little bit differently?
Versus
like-
Ibrahim.
Yeah, he was inside.
Well, the thing is, Ibrahim, that guy has such an extreme inside style that
Right.
he makes Todd look like a top roller.
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Todd
I
even
was like,
finished
what?
a couple of the rounds
What is
with a
that?
top roll.
Yes.
Yeah, Todd's like, I pinned him over and over and over, and I just kept fouling.
Yeah.
Like, he lost 2 rounds
on fouls. Yeah.
Yeah, I
What,
mean,
what were some of your favorite performances on the whole card? I got to say Prudnik
Prudnik's
versus
number one
Prudnik's-
for me.
Prudnik versus
100%.
Dadakian
Yeah,
on the
I thought
left.
that was-
The humbling of Dustin Hyatt. And he seems like a humble guy, but he went in
didn't
there
watch that
ready
one.
to go. And homie just
Who is that
crushed
guy
him.
who beat him? I haven't heard of him. He's
I
some
don't know
Italian
him
guy.
either. Yeah, that's why it seemed like it was a humbling where I thought they were giving him something to eat.
Yeah, no.
And
Looks
he
like the
just
other guy had
cracked
a
him.
good top roll. Looks like Dustin lost his wrist from what I
Thomas
recall.
Mangi.
Thomas Yeah, man.
We're like, I see Hyatt, and I'm like, no one has higher ceiling. You're a boy. Yeah. You're just a boy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
super
he's
young.
like 23.
super strong,
23.
super young. But got pretty much Derek Smith. And then, how about Derek
Textbook.
Smith?
Derek Smith, good win. Good win there.
Man,
I'm happy for
I'm
Derek.
happy
Already.
for him too because he's.
I think there's no one besides Devon I could be happier for. Like,
Who do you think is a good opponent for him going forward? I've been
Derek Smith?
kind of
the
thinking
guy
about
that just beat Dave Chafee.
Who was that?
the
Jablonski?
Gold Dragon.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that.
You know, if he's not going to get Dave, then get that one.
Okay.
That would be fun. And he's an East guy. That would be fun to do on
Polish
this.
guy,
Yeah. Or one of the big standouts. Because if this Derek shows up, that's fired up and angry.
Yeah.
And they don't feed him to Morozov and Ravaz, who are like some of the top guys, and just fucking throw him.
We
to
got those guys out of the way.
Just throw him in the pit.
Oh, Lord.
Because genetically, Derek should be the future of our sport.
Yeah.
On the North American side.
What happened to
monster.
Derek
Guy's a monster.
with those other East vs. West matches? Is he loses the first round and he just deflates.
Crumbles as a human being.
Deflates,
Yeah.
Deflate. You just
Completely.
see it happen.
Yes, you don't see that guy.
Not this.
Not
guy,
this screaming, you motherfucker.
He's got to figure
but-
out, and he's rushing through these rounds way too much, which is why he's getting these fouls and he loses.
Yeah.
But now he's got the confidence, right? Those first two experiences at East vs. West, he gets the nerves out. He said it himself.
Yeah, big time.
He's finally got the nerves out with this match.
Yeah, I want to believe in him quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because he knows he's beating this guy. He's pinning him and he's
Yeah.
elbow fouling.
He's got all
"This
the
match is
potential.
over. I'm pinning this guy.
He said, I've heard him say that in the past, after a match or after some of his losses, he's kind of taken a lot of time off and not continued to train. But he said that going into this match, he's been training super hard and he wants to continue to train hard after this. In fact, he was supposed to have that match versus Lachlan, but I believe that actually ended up getting canceled. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
Yeah.
But
Contractually canceled.
yeah, so what do you guys think about the whole contract situation with the restrictive contracts? What's your opinion on that?
I don't think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So I think that if you're guaranteed a certain number of matches a year, and that guarantee fits in your schedule as a human being, it's the best thing for you ever, because you have security in terms of they have to offer me 4 matches a year, and this is the time at which I would separate
we
them
agree
to be
it's
best
good
for
for
me.
the
For the athlete, it's,
But I
you're
think
making
you're
money.
asking-
You're making money. You get
100%,
guaranteed
yes,
matches. Hell
You're
yeah,
asking a different
you know what I mean.
question on a broader
For
scale,
viewers, for
right?
fans, they want to see all the matchups. Like if we think about what Igor did with the PAL, restricting the athletes, I think that's what people are cautious of that happening. You know.
Also, maybe I'm a little biased on how I feel about this whole thing because the way Ingen is handling it is
Like a
not a good
child.
look.
Not the best way. Yeah, he's
He
not
gets
a
in
good look.
arguments and blocks people on Facebook. Like it's
Real
all weird.
And all the
Media
YouTube
calling
People
comments.
enemies of the sports, deleting comments, not a good look.
Yeah, not a good look.
No.
So
But Ryan, what he
that
did to Ryan
puts a
Bowen
bad
is
taste
weird.
In my mouth. Yeah, all that stuff.
I mean, it's evident to
I don't
anyone
wanna like
who's paid
anything that
any
he says.
attention that
Yeah,
he's just
you
trying
know.
to.
I don't want to like them. I'm with you on that.
Exactly.
But like I come from MMA, and that was like my little dream. I'm gonna fight until I realize I'm not tall enough to be as heavy as I am, and I want to be jacked because I like pretty girls. But one of the things, like the guys that I ended up strength and condition coaching, what was so important to them was knowing their calendar year in advance, and it was guaranteed.
right.
Right? Their contract said it's this many at this price,
Right.
and then we renegotiate because you're going to win.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to be a winner.
But at the same time, I can understand why Engen says that. Now, I didn't know the nature of the contracts when he was talking about it. I was like, I don't know if he promised these people matches. So you obviously don't want people getting hurt when you just put up a bunch of money.
Of course.
Get that.
Whatever. But
As
it
a
didn't
business
seem
owner,
like-
it makes sense,
Yeah,
but
but it didn't
you
seem
see how it puts a bad taste in people's mouth when it's so obviously directed towards someone that they don't like. and
Well,
they're
like,
just
think
trying
about
to sweep the matches
If
under
the
rug.
WAL does come out and ESPN is involved, and it came out for 1 second that Devon can't compete on the first ESPN WAL show, fuck out of here with that.
yeah,
There's a chance at real money, real crazy money.
Right.
And then we'll have real athletes.
Right.
Not that we don't have real athletes, but like there are creatures in the woodwork.
Yeah.
I hope arm wrestling can be a career for more people. Just in general, as a thought, I just hope more people can have it as a career. You know, as someone that loves it. you
It's
know,
why I
it's
can't hate
the
Ryan
dream.
Bowen.
Of course not.
That dude,
How-
like,
how can
chased
you?
his, like,
He's the
dream.
embodiment of like discipline and like not listening to people
Staying on the
fucking
grind.
shitting on him
hard,
constantly.
yeah,
Constantly.
You know what I mean? He's got to have thick skin after that.
I mean, for real, he's amazing.
There's like 8
Yeah,
series
yeah.
made about him. You know,
Yeah.
delusional Ryan Bowen series.
And he
like
raises
all
a
that.
special needs kid while
Yes.
grinding this out.
And
Like,
he's
you're amazing.
pushing hard. And
Meanwhile, people who don't do anything with their lives and they see someone with ambition talk shit in the comment section because it's a reflection of their own insecurity that they don't go after their goals. So,
Definitely.
100%.
I mean, it's
and
pretty
you
obvious.
can see it in AWE. Like,
it's beautiful.
That shit is beautiful.
Yeah, I like what he's doing, trying to get those Indian athletes, and this is what will help the sport grow.
But I
is
just
in-
mean like
The production.
the production, like the
Crazy.
streams work. The videos look
the
amazing.
promotion. You see the
Yeah,
promotion
yeah,
aspect of the
they
social
have-
media.
they
is
It was
growing.
live. It was in 4K.
Yeah.
And it was arguably better than this.
Yeah.
Because we had issues with this. It went off like 3 different
Yeah.
times.
Yeah, couldn't get
Whereas when I watched
connected again.
AWU's event, it was 2 guys walked to the table. They fought. They walked away. The next group came in.
Yes.
And it
It
just
worked. It was
worked.
flowing.
It was
Yeah.
crazy.
I gotta say, if you look at the UFC and you look at there's already a blueprint of how to promote.
They
these
do it
events
perfectly.
with the interviews, with the lead up, the embedded series, and you're seeing East versus West doing that very well with the interviews. This East versus West, they did a lot more of those interviews where they're sitting down with each athlete. The memorabilia, I think, is something that we can get more monetary stuff
Yeah.
going on with
Big
selling
time.
stuff. So.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the way Ingen's trying to say that his whole motivation for doing all this strict contract stuff is to make the sport more inclusive for everybody?
Well, by that he means his own organization and his own, benefits. Obviously,
It's contradiction.
Literally contradiction.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I'm
he
not
wants-
crazy.
So, no, I
No,
agree
he-
completely. I also think that he's making a lot of money.
which people don't want to
Yes.
talk about. They want to say, "Oh, it's for the good of the
Well,
sport."
he would say otherwise.
Man,
Yeah,
So
There's no way he's not making money. The price goes up every
So,
event. It's like
we
at
don't
$18.
know- I don't know how much money he's making, but I know that running this is a fucking fortune.
Well, he's made videos that talk
Fortune.
about it. He says he's in
Fortune.
debt.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's-
yeah.
He says he's more in debt.
So,
with-
and maybe
His business might be in debt, but he's not
right.
in debt. You know what I mean? He's
His
probably paying
business is
himself
accumulating
well, but
debt.
the
Of course he
business
is.
is
The
whatever,
trajectory
you know?
is increasing substantially.
He's
If you
got
look
a
at all
personal
the
interest.
views, if you look at all
before
the pay-per-views,
before we take what I said one way,
no-brainer.
let me respin what I said. I think it's fantastic if he makes a lot of money.
Yeah, it's good. It's great.
Fuck yeah, let's make money
Yeah,
in
make
this
money.
sport.
Yeah.
The Dana Whites of this sport, which are not Engen,
Right,
there will be a real personality that comes in and rocks this thing one day. But someone else needs to make some money, so someone like that stands up and is like, I think I'm the guy.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Right. Well, it's like
We're a Dana White away from this thing.
we are
exploding.
100%, which is cool. Why you see like a few more promotions come in. That High Five, right? They have done streamed events before. This last one that they did
Completely fell
didn't go
apart.
over very well for us.
As the spectators.
We tried to watch it. We paid the $16. Our friend Neil Ehrlich
Big fan.
paid, and for an hour we couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened when I left. Still didn't work.
We didn't watch
I
it.
went home and I was on YouTube. I saw Uncle John was live with Artem, and he was like recasting it just by audio. So he was watching it and just telling us what was happening. And I was like, well, he's fucking watching it, but we paid.
Yeah,
for it.
I talked
Can't
to
even
multiple
watch
people
it.
that said they
What is
paid
happening?
and couldn't watch it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
That's
That's
crazy.
insane.
You
Like-
would hope they get refunded for that.
You would hope, but we also, like a month ago, we went to the PAL National Amateur Tournament in Dallas. We tried to watch, was it East First West or King of the Table?
No, it was
It
East
was
First
East
West.
First
East First West. And what happened?
Afterwards,
Seven of us ordered it.
None
Nobody
of us
could
could
watch
watch
it.
it. Couldn't watch
We
it.
tried Apple phones, Androids,
We had an
Xbox,
iPad out.
PlayStations,
Yeah,
iPads, and TVs. Could not
Yeah,
get
that's
this right.
something
That is
you would want to be
unacceptable.
fixed.
With a house
you
full
know,
of people.
to
House
provide,
full of people.
provide a product like that people are paying for. You would hope that. that would,
And I'm okay with the price of this, by the way, increasing. It's clubs that are watching
Yeah.
it. You all get together. Let's go. Let's get these guys paid.
Right.
Anyone complaining, like, when you're filming it for your friend,
Yeah,
like,
right,
if
right.
your friend,
Right.
I'll send you $18
right. So
rather
you
than
can
filming it
watch
for
it.
you.
Yeah,
You're like, are you crazy?
Yeah. 100%.
and that's
I
money
want
that
you all
goes
to be
into
a
the
part of it.
athlete's pocket
At some point.
But that's what we're
Even if
paying
it's a
for.
dollar of it.
Yeah. Well, that we're paying not only to watch it, but
To
to
grow the
support
sport.
it, to grow the
Hell
sport.
yeah.
Which is why
And
Ingen needs to keep his mouth shut. Because
Right.
people want to give the athletes money, but if
Yes.
he keeps saying stuff like and doing things
Yeah.
the way he's
Yeah,
been
he's
doing
gotta-
things,
I mean, yeah.
people are not going to want to give him their money.
Right.
And that's going to
a lot of
affect
some
the
people
athletes.
have boycotted this event.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Grant Diet, certain
Okay.
YouTube guy.
Yeah.
I know there's others, but
That guy's a fucking pud.
I just know he makes provocative.
Yo, look him up. That's a pud, bro. Grant, I'll arm wrestle you anytime. He's a fucking pud. But no, you know what is good for that guy? Because I watched him in the very beginning. Maybe he had like 3 people watching him.
Yeah.
And I was taking a shit in a Target watching him, right? Like, oh, who's this guy? And he's this fat, like,
Yeah.
Maybe he's Irish.
He's
he looks
on his
Irish.
weight loss journey.
It looks amazing.
He's down
He's
to my
rocking
weight
his
right
life,
now.
brother.
He's not a.
I think what he's doing for himself is amazing, and I've watched the sport do it for multiple
Yes,
people.
man. Yeah. We have
He's
a guy
changing his
locally.
life. He looks completely different than he did when he started.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. Like, hats off to this dude.
Yeah.
And this sport touches people in that way.
Dude.
Dude, it's really cool.
It is.
Like, we have Derek Overby. He's an arm wrestler out of Seguin, often trains with the San Antonio guys. This guy changed his whole life. He lost over 100 pounds.
Yeah.
I got to meet him at the Locked and Loaded
That
event.
changed his
He
whole
talked to
life.
me about that. He said he
Nicest
lost
dude
weight.
ever.
Can we pull up his Facebook?
Yeah, he was friendly.
I don't think
he was super
He
friendly.
has the pictures.
Oh, does he have it on there?
Yeah, he has the pictures of, like, he made a post about how arm wrestling changed his fucking life.
Yeah,
He was probably 400 pounds.
Close.
No. He was like 480, 490.
And he's like
Oh.
5'8".
Yeah,
5'9".
Wow.
max.
And he
I mean, he made my weight class.
Derek
Lost
Overby.
half his body weight.
That's him. Yeah, changed his whole life. His wife's too, and his wife stuck with him through thick and thin,
Yes.
and that's fucking
Yep, that's
dope.
his wife there. She's awesome. Super nice. She arm wrestles too.
He's on his way to 198.
Oh my, that's so crazy.
Go, dude.
Like, imagine coming
He needs
down.
to tell his story. He'll inspire people.
Yeah, arm wrestling gives a lot of people a lot of focus and drive. When are we going to have the arm wrestling training camps? The
Dude.
UFC Performance Institute, the Arm Wrestling Institute
don't
of
even- that
Toronto,
shit
and in
is in
Devon's
my brain.
backyard.
When
you know,
people
where
like
are
us
sleeping.
do it.
Yep.
It's in
We're
my
doing a
brain all
podcast
the
one
time.
step at a time.
Bro.
You're seeing everything growing. Like when I first got into the sport 3 years ago, it was Ryan Bowen, Devon. These were Coach Ray. Those were like the main YouTubers that I recall. And now it's like there's a new channel every week, a new podcast. There's always like new stuff like popping up.
Yes. I mean, I think about it constantly. I'm like, every time I see an empty strip mall, like just one stall, empty store that's for lease, I'm like, I could turn that
You guys
want to
do-
fucking arm wrestling gym.
This, you guys want to do public arm wrestling at some point in time? 6th Street or what? Would you
That'd be
guys be
cool.
down
I
for
think
that?
we should.
We might need some waivers. I've done it in
man.
Vegas. I've done the public arm
I
wrestling.
think we should. I think if we had a, if we
Oh
had
yeah,
a
with the,
bunch
drunk,
of
with the
us-
drunk
if
people.
we had
What's a
bunch
good
of us-
location in Austin?
Sixth
What's a
Street
good
is
location?
not the one.
we could
bunch
do
of
it right
drunk
off
people.
of 6th Street, you know?
I would do anything to arm wrestle
yeah.
strangers.
Like there's
I
that
don't know,
Kava.
man. You're talking about clickbait. That'd be some cool thumbnails coming off Dirty Sixth Street for sure.
That's what I did on by the Bellagio in Las Vegas,
Yeah,
and there
perfect spot.
so much good content out there.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
coming up, people interacting.
yeah,
You know,
right,
have the
right.
mics so you can hear what
Yes.
they're saying.
But we have
It's
to
like,
do it with someone like Ian Wagner,
pretty
not
fun.
like me or you,
who's
where
gonna fucking snap their arms.
no, where Ian looks like just a regular older man.
In terms of
he's just like-
visuals, and then
Yeah.
you get, then you go up
Then you
against
go
him,
up
and then
to him and
your
you're
like,
arm is looking the other direction.
Yeah.
You know, it's,
That's what
Yikes.
makes it
That's what we
great.
want. Yeah.
Yikes.
Very unsuspecting.
Yeah, I
it's
think-
hilarious.
It would be amazing.
I think
Yeah,
we
the
should
skinny beat
look
the
into
skinny
that.
guy, and it's
Yeah.
fucking Ian. He's just full of rage.
We bring him.
Just ready to
We bring him with
destroy
a
everybody.
pocket protector, his glasses
Put him
on.
in
A pair of white New
nerdy
Balance.
nerdy outfit.
Yes.
Nerdy ass
And
outfit.
I'm like, he's a phenom, dude. I've been arm wrestling for a long time, and I met this guy. Man, I started bringing him places with me because no one can beat him. It's weird. Just
Everybody
try.
be like,
you go up to the
"What
biggest
are you
guys,
talking
and then their ego gets challenged, and they want
They're
to try
like,
it. You know,
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
it's all
That sounds
fun and
fun.
games until somebody snaps their arm. That's the only
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I heard you had that situation.
Like you know a thing or two.
Yeah, it happens, and it's not
But-
a good thing, you know.
Going forward, do you think
And
you
it's-
can prevent that?
I could.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yeah,
no,
you can.
No, you can't because you can hold them in the center table and they'll break.
I
their
just
own
went to FitFest and arm wrestled for like 5 hours straight.
I can
keep
assure
them
you,
from
I
breaking their own arm.
you cannot.
I did it all day long.
You cannot.
That's
I'm
what I
telling
do
you-
as a referee.
I'm telling you, you cannot.
That's a referee's job.
I guarantee you, there's always a chance it can happen. I will show
Yeah,
you the
there's-
footage
there's
of
always a
both
chance.
of those
I'm pretty
breaks.
sure I
and
saved,
in
like,
both of those breaks. I
3
was
broken
literally
arms last
not
weekend.
even moving, just holding center table.
And they'll break their own arm, yes.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
if there was a third party reffing that could pull them out of it,
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
is
Or
If,
just,
if
how about
all of us came, it might be a little
yeah,
bit.
the risk
harder
is
for
the
people to-
unfortunate
It's always
part,
there.
yeah.
It's
You're
always
gonna
there.
arm wrestle.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
just
And I
watch
thought the
them
same
break
thing. I
their
thought there'd
arm.
be no chance, you know, like because I can keep them safe, you know, I can keep it in the hand, but then they'll still break.
Yeah,
their
but
own arm.
you're-
and it happened, and then I was like, okay, well maybe I shouldn't do this because
Yeah.
even
Well,
if I'm
no,
doing my
yeah.
very best to not hurt them,
Yeah.
It's
No,
still
but that's why you
impossible.
need more people there because you cannot jump on someone from the side.
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
table
yeah.
and
You
be
see
like,
differently.
You're not going in that direction. You know what I mean? Like somebody can be standing off the table watching
And going,
and
safe,
as soon as you
safe,
see
shouldering them out.
you just fucking stop them. Like, no.
Yep,
You're
yep.
done.
There's always a chance that when they're not looking for 20 seconds and
Yeah.
it happens,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
always that chance.
Yeah,
but
there
it
is.
definitely, I
There
think
is.
that would be more ideal to have other arm wrestlers. When I did it, I had like 2 friends, but they weren't really arm wrestlers. They were just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I was there.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep them safe, but then, you know.
No, I
No,
think,
you need the third party.
I think the man on the street thing is like super cool.
No,
And
we
I
got to
think
do that. We got
I'm
to
in.
do
wrestling
I'm
in
in for
public
sure.
is fucking
Whenever.
cool.
100%.
Yeah.
I got a table we can.
Not
break
Sixth
it
Street,
down.
but I'm in.
Well, it's like
Domain
a
would be
team,
fun.
right?
Sixth
The
Street, you get yourself
Arm
shot.
Wrestling Whisperer, he does it all the fucking time.
Yeah. I think he does it in like a supplement store. And then
He does it there, but I saw him do it outside in
Yeah,
a
yeah,
parking
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like at some big
Yeah,
store.
I
don't
want
know.
to
I
bring
was
that
like,
back.
what the
It's a lot of fun too. Just getting new people
fuck?
into the
Just
sport
people,
too.
yeah, they're like,
I've done it.
Engagement.
I've done it a few times, but I couldn't get people to arm wrestle me. When I watched your video before I even knew you were, I couldn't
arm wrestle
believe
this
people
guy.
are arm wrestling me.
$100 to beat me. It's free. That's how
Yeah.
you. People are walking. There's so many people walking by. Do you want $100? It's free. Just give it a try. You know, people are gonna come up, and then if they're like, you know,
Snap their little lip.
give me your little fucking. That's the sadistic approach
Yeah.
to public arm wrestling. There.
That's what I would like to whisper to them.
No, you can't.
And then
do that.
snap it.
There comes a lawsuit incoming to Dustin DeWoody. We got mail today. Oh, you're being sued.
Yeah, that sucks.
Two arm breaks.
Yeah.
We have evidence, verbal evidence that he wanted my soul, my arm.
Yeah.
That was
You can't get out of this
AIG.
lawsuit.
He asked for
That
my
was-
little
no,
fucking limb.
No,
Yikes.
allegedly, and that was AI generated.
Who would say that? Yeah.
We
Who
got to
would
bring
say that?
waivers with us
Oh,
to
no.
6th Street
Oh.
for sure.
Not Sixth Street again. Let's do like UT. Yeah,
Oh, no, you're going to have to
Let's
talk
do
me
it.
out of that.
Let's do it.
let's go to the college. Like Sky can arm wrestle the
wanna do
girls.
Dirty Sixth
Absolutely.
Street.
Absolutely.
Dirty
Let's do it.
Six.
Yeah,
We
Sky-
get all the
Sky will do it in
homeless
heels, it'll be
people
rad.
Sixth
by
is
the
move.
arch. All
Yeah,
the
because she'll
No,
be
dude.
grown men.
You go
Yeah.
down
And
there,
it's good for video. It's really good.
Really
for
good.
video.
Yeah.
if you go down there on a Friday or Saturday night, it's just going to be a mob of people. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I've
That's what
seen
you. But that's what you want. You want the crowd. You know, look
right.
at the.
You just don't want to
schoolboy-
get shot.
a mob of people.
Yeah, you don't.
the schoolboy
You don't.
videos in New
Yeah,
York
yeah.
City where there's a crowd and it's like it's
Yeah.
badass. Those are some awesome videos.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other topics we got going on in the arm wrestling world? Larry Wheels versus Leonidas in a month from now. Who do you
Yeah.
guys think is going to win that?
I don't know
I
enough
don't-
about
I
Leonidas.
think Larry
Sure.
wins that.
On lefty, I think
Larry
Larry Wheels
I think
wins
it's
too.
a close match. I think it's a close
I think
match.
Larry Wheels' ceiling is massive,
And
Same
So-
with,
so
same,
with
same with
Leonidas.
Leonidas.
Yeah, same with Leonidas.
but he's been around a little longer.
I think about the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they
Oh.
sparred in Dubai. Leonidas had the edge on Larry. That was about a year or two ago.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I've
but then-
pulled both of them. I think it's a close match.
well,
We just saw him pull Matt Mask.
yeah, man.
They both have wins on Tony Tomlinson on the left, so that here we're watching some after pulling footage of
Paul.
yeah,
Leonidas.
Leonidas versus Paul.
I didn't see this.
So
is
is
this
his
recent?
match
This
with
is
Larry
good.
left?
Is
Yes,
this recent?
left arm.
It's left arm.
in Germany.
What was his match with Matt Mask? Was that right arm?
Whose match?
That wasn't a
was
match, was it? He had a match with somebody else.
Who?
Had a-
Leonidas and
well,
Matt?
Matt Mask had a match with somebody else.
That was just like training, I think. I don't. They
Well,
didn't,
they were
actually-
training, but then Matt Mask went and had a match with somebody, and Leonidas did, a fun match with somebody left-handed, I think.
Oh, Leonidas pulled pork chop, right?
Was it the Jason guy, Jason Constantini,
And
Canada.
the guy
Yeah.
from the Table Monkeys? I'm
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
sure
yeah.
I saw them pulling at some point.
but I think he pulled pork chop. Did he
Really?
beat
We
pork
just
chop?
saw Pork Chop come back at that. He did that tournament where Brzezinski and Todd Hutchins
Yep.
had that match.
Yep. No, I saw Larry Wheels' progression video. That was fucking cool.
was
Like
cool?
I was like, I like, and I knew it. Like I've been following him since he started the arm wrestling journey, and I never thought he would stick with it. I didn't. I thought he was just jumping on the
Man, that
bandwagon.
guy's a
'cause
jack
he
of all
started-
trades, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. And then he was like, "No, this is really cool."
Now he's opening up his own gym, which is awesome. He'll probably have arm wrestling. There's no
Oh,
way he doesn't have arm wrestling
yeah,
too.
yeah.
You know?
Right.
Of course he does.
Yeah. He's gonna have the posing room.
He's gonna
and
have
then next to the posing
powerlifting. He's
room
gonna
is
have
gonna be
bodybuilding,
awesome.
lighting. He's gonna have arm wrestling tables. Probably
Yeah, I just
strongman
went to a gym and it looks like they're gonna get a custom table as well
Really?
here in Austin.
here in Austin.
Is that the House of Gains?
No, it's a the really
Oh, the-
expensive collective. They're gonna do it.
Collective.
What is that?
Collective is like is a gym where they do. How do I want to explain this? It is a place to become socially and strengthfully better as a group. Meaning they only allow 500 members. It's $300 a month for one person, and they have phone booths that are soundproof in it. They have an office space. They have a bar that they do socials at. They have a recovery room. They have a hormone therapist. They have a massage therapist.
Wow.
And it's mainly athletes. A lot of NFL guys there, and they do training camps there, personal
sounds
training
cool.
there. It is a lot of influencers. So there's one on the south side full of influencers. And then there's the new one on the north side, maybe 240 members right now. But it's a very different thing.
Different vibe in there, like
Yeah.
a sophisticated gym environment,
yes.
aristocratic gym environment.
But not so aristocratic where Lifetime may be a little more of that, interestingly enough.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So more like the influencer crowd, like the social media crowd.
A little bit, and more of like pro athletes though. I'll be talking to somebody, and when I reveal, this is great, when they're like, you're doing this very specific, I was like, I professional arm wrestle. And they're so happy to tell me at that point what they do professionally. Where it's a secret up to the point that, oh, you're a professional athlete too. And I'm like, sure fucking am, bud.
You know, if they're paying $300 a month, they take something serious and they're trying to get better at something.
Yeah, so everybody you're around is
It's a good environment.
yeah,
Good
they're
environment
inclined to
change.
talk about what you do, and they have a social every
Good place to make
Tuesday.
connections, huh?
It is, and that's why it's called Collective. We collect as a group. And when I was talking to the new GM about putting a table in, he was like, "This is the greatest idea ever. Let's do it. Let's put a table in there and let's get it custom and let's get." He's like, "Would you hold a seminar?"
I have to sell my
I was like, "Dude, I'll seminar like
sell my
once a
TV,
month."
sell my phone, then I'll get a gym membership.
yeah. Maybe rob people once a week.
Yeah. Sell some trend on the side, you know.
You know,
Just a little bit.
it's different. It's very different. The recovery center though is
They got
cold
like
plunge.
cryotherapy in there. And stuff
No,
too.
they have legit cold plunge, and it is hella cold.
They don't have cryo?
No cryo. Only cold plunge and sauna, and they're right next to each other, so you're one to the next.
Cool.
And then they have like a warm pool right next to that.
Wicked.
That's cool.
Wicked.
But yeah, getting some of these places to put tables in.
Yeah.
When we were talking about the growth of the sport and we're talking about Olympics, the big move at that juncture is arm wrestling in school, where you take it off the cafeteria table and you bring it to PE.
We saw what happened in Canada with Devon's kids competing at
It was amazing.
high school tournament.
It was amazing.
One of the coolest things.
No one got hurt. Everything was cool.
So cool. So cool.
I mean,
I mean, that's almost any sport that you introduce.
people
or
are
you
like, well,
want.
people will get hurt.
Well-
Kids are playing football.
Well, no, I'm
Yeah,
saying
their
like,
brains are
if
hurting
you-
in 20 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, got CTE, that's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to get it popular, you start with the fucking kids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah,
where you
just
start.
look at the
It's
LGBT
the biggest
agenda,
population
yeah,
of people
they-
that
they
you can
did
get
that
into
well.
it fast, and they take onto it, and then that it infects everyone else. And everything.
Yes, it's
That's-
everything.
That's how it works.
How
yeah.
about Odd Larry going to Arm Wars?
That's exactly where I was going with this.
Who?
Odd and
Devon
Larry.
son.
Devin's son.
Devin's son.
Going to Arm Wars?
Arm Wars.
Yep, competing in arm wars.
Against who?
That's the question. Do we know the answer to that?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
I know Devin's going against Svetkov on the left, but
Yeah, that'll be pretty cool.
So it really hurt arm wars for me. I think that's really cool.
The credibility of Arm Wars.
I don't.
what hurt Arm Wars?
Why?
Have
Odd
an odd-
Larry?
Yeah.
Have an odd.
What are we doing?
I mean,
Are you
if
serious?
anything,
Or,
you
are you
bring
serious?
Yeah, it
Being
hurts it for
serious,
me.
yeah.
Here's what it hurts for me. I think
You just have to accept that the athletes there are not necessarily the best athletes. Just like when I see, Jody Williams on there and the guy's running from me in a super match because I said I'll destroy him and then he just blocks me.
There
It's
you
like,
go.
I mean, just because someone's in a promotion doesn't mean they're the best. They could be, but why don't you-
but it means they're pretty good.
So it just means then that promotion doesn't have the best athletes.
depends on
And
the
I think that's
organization.
great.
So then what are we watching? If
That's-
it's not the best
that's-
athletes,
well,
what are we
that-
watching?
This is where it gets
Because
hurt
I'm
for
like,
me.
why wouldn't we have Milo?
Because so
on
far,
there instead?
Well,
Milo
why would we
whoops
watch
on
one
his
if they
ass.
don't have the best
Yeah.
athletes?
You know what I mean?
What's that?
I don't agree with that mindset because like why would people watch one then if they don't have the best athletes? There's still entertainment and there's still athleticism and there's still athletes who are improving and there's still a storyline. I think the storyline is a huge factor too. Just
Well,
seeing
it's like
athletes-
college football.
right? That's our college football because we all get to come from somewhere. So if these guys, if you recognize Arm Wars as the place to be found, now, okay.
Yeah, well, that's
Auden, how do you say his name?
I think it's
Auden.
Auden.
I don't know if it's
Auden.
Auden.
Can we just see him win some tournaments?
Well,
and
that's
some
my
stuff,
thing,
and
is
then
like-
he shows up there, and we're like, oh, that's really cool. He's really on the up and
Right.
up. Like Dustin
Well,
Hyatt.
he won the junior nationals in Canada.
Well, so listen.
So
to
does he
this.
go against another junior? Then it would be cool. To me.
That's what I'm saying.
Some of the
Is
best
it gonna be
juniors in the
against
country?
An open puller.
I think it's
or is it
probably
gonna be
against a junior. It's probably a
another
suitable
junior?
matchup. I mean, I think
Yeah.
Armour's goal is just to have exciting matchups.
Like,
I
is
think
there
that's what
is
Neil's
there
goal is from the
is
start.
there someone from California who won juniors that could go against him?
Yeah.
That
well,
sounds
that's,
really
That's
fun.
what I hope that they do.
Ireland?
I assume
that
that's
that's what it's gonna be.
European.
Yeah, junior champion. That sounds
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
From the UK.
Then it wouldn't hurt it at all for me.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be cool if he just goes up there against someone good and they just destroy him.
Right.
And we all know who the other guy is, and we're like, "What is
Well,
this?"
yeah, that's
Well,
my.
if
I'm
it's
like,
junior-
The thing with social media is anyone could get recognition in the arm wrestling community. You don't even have to be the best. It's just what it is. You
right.
know? I
Which
mean,
is so. It's funny that you say that because I was a ninja in a chat today, and this one arm wrestler, William Palmer,
Don't do this to me.
was complaining about Bob Brown not taking a match with him.
Oh, gosh.
And he said that Bob Brown said you need to win some open matches before I'm going to take a match with you. And I was like, yeah, obviously. Like who
William
are you?
Palmer.
Like,
Obviously.
why are you mad that Bob Brown's not going to
Did you watch him post the message between him and Bob?
I did. Like,
So you know what Bob Brown does? First of all, Bob Brown does not know who William Palmer
no,
is.
not at all.
Where does Bob Brown go to figure out who William Palmer is? He might go to AERS,
Yeah.
which is where he sees
Can you
that
please?
he's never
can you
pulled
please type his
open
name?
at a
ever.
tournament.
who's
Yeah.
William Palmer?
William
God damn it!
Exactly.
Can I just say?
It is not
We're
even
giving-
disrespect.
so
it's
the-
just I don't
no,
know
it's
who
not
it is.
disrespect.
You know?
Well, once you
The
see him
problem
once-
is-
Oh,
the
it
problem
can be
is-
disrespect.
we
Well,
should-
people.
Yeah.
No, when I say he looks like he has Down syndrome, I mean that's disrespectful. He does.
He looks like a Muppet baby.
Well, he has a syndrome, right?
Where's this guy from?
This is the
baby?
problem.
Where's
This
this
is
guy
the
from?
I
problem.
don't know.
This
He's
is
just
the
like a
problem.
big body with little
From
limbs.
Texas? Or?
He has the tiniest
no,
hands, but he's big. Anyway, this kid is not a good arm wrestler. He's getting there. He's starting
Well,
to
if
get
you talk
better.
shit enough, if you're a
That's what it is.
crackhead on a podcast enough,
He's-
you'll get a
he's-
match.
Yeah, go
Doing
down to
a
the
great
detailed
job
division
with that.
stats.
If
Scroll
you
down
call
a
someone a
little bit.
fake
Here we
natty
go. Okay,
on
so
YouTube
he had-
for several months straight and talk trash,
Yo, his
you might
pro-
get a
who you
match.
talking
Look at his
about?
pulled pro. He has pulled pro.
His pro left is 0-6.
5
That's
and
scary.
6 and 3 and 1. Yeah, pro left. Well, who cares about left?
Yeah, I
Pro
care
right
about
242 is 0 and 1. Is that a super match?
It's got him. No.
He got upset. In the
Those
last-
should
Why
be
would that-
rounds.
why
Can you
would
click
that-
on pro right 242?
Yeah.
I can't do this,
At
guys.
the top? Yeah. Pro
We
right
shouldn't be
242.
doing
You don't know how
this,
much I don't like
But
him.
I
No, that's
need
242
I don't.
plus.
I
I don't
just
even
said
know
in the
He's
chat
a weirdo.
that I
He's
want to
really
call
fucking
him
mean,
out.
bro.
I want to call him out
He'll be legit mean to you.
because
So Wade
Robbie
Carlson, that's
lost.
supposed to be
Brother,
rounds.
that's crazy.
I thought.
We know Wade.
What is can you guys fill me
Wade-
in on
Wade beat him
AWU? I'm new to Texas. I've kind of heard some rumblings of what that is, but I actually don't really know. Can you guys fill me in
Yeah.
on what the AWU
I don't
is?
wanna-
AWU,
Oh,
Arm
What's that?
Wrestling Uncensored,
Dude, it's a
run by a guy named David Kahlo. It's real popular out of Houston. A lot of those Houston guys, for one reason or another, don't go to TAL events.
Really?
Even
They
when the
don't
TAL
like
events
TAL.
right outside of Houston, some arm wrestlers from Houston will complain about how far away it is.
Yeah.
So last year we had state championships for Texas Arm Wrestling League in Port
Arthur.
But a lot of Houston
Texas.
guys show up too.
Which is
South of Houston,
Yeah.
maybe like
All
for
the good
city
Houston
limit,
guys show up. Let's
I was
keep
gonna
that
say
real.
like
34
Ryan Carter
minutes
shows
away.
up to TL.
We're talking about all the
Yes.
sucky
And,
guys.
A lot of the guys
pullers.
from Houston do, but a lot
The
of
whole AWU thing is a bunch of
Because-
shitty
and
arm
they
wrestlers.
complain about how
like
far
a, like
away
an
it is.
underleague, like a
Yeah.
like a
So
single
here's the
A.
thing:
Yes.
they're not. They don't. They're a promotion, but now they're like we're a team. Heath Chisty called out Ian, right?
Okay.
And
Wagner.
now they're making it AWU versus TAL. And I'm like,
I don't
what
even
the fuck does
understand.
that even mean? is because they don't like the TAL that much, and they know that
But
Ian
that's
pulls
not
that
just
TAL
Houston.
events.
That group is not Houston. That group is people from all over the country,
Yes.
all over the world.
All over, yeah,
Some
all over,
some more tribalism in the arm wrestling community.
But it's this
Yeah.
group of
humans will be
underlings.
tribal creatures. This is my group. I don't like that group.
Yeah. Well, that's how they
Yeah,
are.
so
man.
they, so like
Fucking
David
primates.
Kotlow
We
lives
are
in
literally
Houston.
primates.
Yes. Yeah.
But I don't really know any Houston arm wrestlers that are like anti-TAL. David Kotlow's not an arm wrestler.
Yeah. No.
He's the guy that started a promotion, and that became anti-TAL because of the way they scheduled the events was weird.
Yeah.
And they were like, they kind of were going to like work with the TAL, and then they were like, no, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
Because they just want to do a bunch of super matches that anyone knows.
Anyone. Yeah.
And then they'll hit up a couple people to get a match going, like Ian,
Yeah.
like Cody.
Yeah.
Cody had a great match with Niles Anderson.
Yeah.
Those are two class act dudes, and you will never see them in the AWU chat.
Right.
I pop in there. I am super nice.
Yeah.
The reason I say things like we can't bring up William Palmer's fucking name is because I'll say things like, "Oh, why would Bob Brown even talk to you?
Yeah.
That's weird." And then he says things like, "How about I make you suck my dick?" And
Yes. They're
people
all
are
about
like, "Dustin's
fucking
the wrong
drinking
one."
cum and sucking dicks.
And I'm
Well,
like,
you know,
look,
that's the
man,
new
I'm
promotion
nice.
tool. We just gotta watch the Arm Wrestling Buzz podcast. You gotta put a crackhead on there and get them to start talking
So,
trash,
yeah.
and then we'll have a match all of a sudden. Call someone a fake natty for long enough, there'll be a match pretty soon.
That's all weird. And they do it though like nonstop, and they're like, "Well, you're really sensitive." I'm like, "Look, man, I'm just an athlete, and if you want to talk shit, I guess we do it to my face, and I don't. We fight.
Right.
What's your deal? I'm an arm wrestler, man. I'm just having fun.
Right.
Leave me the fuck out of
Right,
this.
right.
But I'll pop in because I'm interested in trying to make some good matches with some people in there, with other people to help get them promoted, because the event itself, when you show up, so fun, such a fun event.
Yeah.
I had a great time last time.
It was great.
All right.
Yeah, great event.
We
David
had
Kotlow
Alex
has a good
Gardetcha,
connection.
He had
Chance Shaw,
Derek
Artem.
Smith, Artem Ternenko.
Yeah, and John
Uncle
Theron,
John.
Uncle
yeah,
John.
Tyrion,
Yeah, that's good.
That was just like
Uncle
a big
John was
fun time.
commentating.
If you can get some names out there, then all of a sudden it becomes more relevant in the scene according to people.
was
And when they
pretty
see,
cool.
oh, it's established, you know.
It was fun,
Didn't.
but the whole
I
chat
don't
on the way
remember
there was
seeing
terrible.
Much of the fucking footage after the stream.
Oh, the stream was horrible.
The stream was so bad.
Yeah, it was
The
like
only way you can
There
enjoy
was
that
no-
event is being
There
there.
was
was like
no
Robert
content
Kelly's
after.
first
the
year.
only way
They
you
need a
can enjoy
satellite truck. They need
It was his first one.
Yeah,
They,
they need a
how about
satellite.
like maybe
And
three
Jersey
cameras
satellite truck.
instead of two?
Instead of two.
You know,
Yeah.
3 cameras, just like
No,
we
it-
got going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only
professional
footage
setup.
we ever saw of that was from people's phones.
Yes. And I was
so
like,
bad.
and it was good. It was fun being at it.
It was so much fun,
I
yeah.
got to pull with John Theron.
Yeah, all that was so cool.
Super cool. That guy's so
Yep.
nice. You know what I mean?
I had a great time. I don't want to put down their event. Just their chat is
Great.
this
Chat is
toxic
so toxic.
Yeah.
weirdos.
Like,
It's
so,
super homosexual and weird.
Yeah. Well, Austin Jennings
All of
posted
it.
that Cody Haga wants out of the TAL. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? He's like, I'm not going to share what he actually said.
Sounds like we gotta have Cody
wants
on
to
the
get out. And I'm
podcast.
like, that doesn't make sense.
That's
to
not
me.
who Cody is.
Yeah. We're gonna need to hear about
Yeah, I want to hear
Cody's
that
a
from Cody's
director
mouth.
for them. Maybe he doesn't want to do that job because he doesn't have time.
it. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. that makes sense, but don't say
But don't, like,
he wants
turn.
out.
I
Yeah,
think
don't
Austin
turn people
probably
heel.
just wants people to jump on his bandwagon.
He does.
It's
He's
just
so
Austin
mad
being like,
because
he's projecting.
Yeah. Dustin
projecting.
shut him
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Sounds like something Austin would do.
Yeah. That guy is
But that whole chat, man, I look at the chat, I'll scroll through it every once in a while, and I'm just like, some of you guys, like, there's a guy named Javier on there who's legit. He's a good guy from San Antonio, nice dude, too.
Javier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good hand, good arm
Yeah.
wrestler in general. And, like, just this chat is just them all day long
All day.
talking shit to each other.
All day.
All day. It doesn't
I
stop.
like my peace and quiet. That's one thing I like. I like going to the gym.
I'm like, man, y'all make me feel
Feeling
real
good.
human and nice.
Yeah.
I'm a nice man. Like, god
Pretty
damn.
nice guy. I
A
guess.
nice, unstressed, calm
Yeah,
man.
calmest you've ever seen.
Not stressed.
Yeah, not stressed at all.
There's different levels of crackhead for sure.
Yeah. You know about a couple of crackheads.
Who are you referring to?
I don't know. You're gonna have to tell me. I'm just,
Arm wrestling's a hell of a drug.
it is.
It's a hell of a drug.
It is a hell of a drug because you get
like crack.
You get the crazy on all sides.
Yeah, Paul Italia is someone I am so excited to have in the sport in general because
Watching his last performance, when you did the channel and you talked about his performance, how he bugged the fuck out up there.
That's entertainment. That's
That
entertainment.
was
right
magical.
Absolutely. See, that's the thing. You can promote yourself. If you're doing stuff like that, people are gonna find out who you are. You know, if you're taking videos, if you're, promoting yourself on social media, it's kind of in your hands as an athlete if you want to get more recognition. Sometimes
He gets crazy. I didn't think it was real. Like, what do you guys think? Is that a real reaction? Is that how he really feels arm wrestling
I'm
up
not
there?
sure what you're talking about.
You've never seen this video right
he
there.
did an amateur tournament in Florida,
Holy
and he was just
fuck. Have you seen the video?
Paul
Absolutely.
Italia goes crack
Paul
mode.
Italia.
Yeah, Ian,
No.
let's click on this
after-
video. Ian.
You haven't seen that?
the politics.
You're about to die.
Paul
Your
Italia goes
reaction to
Wait,
this is
maybe
going
I
to be
have
so good.
seen
Have seen it because
Yeah, because you
It's a
watched
funny
it.
that's
video.
my YouTube.
It's
a funny video.
unforgettable.
Click that.
Go down,
Don't
go
go
down,
down
go down,
to
go down.
Paul
Right there,
Paul
right there,
Italia
right there,
goes
right there, right
crackhead
there.
mode.
Oh my lord!
I've seen this, yeah.
And what he's saying to them, ooh, you're going to feel it, big boy. Ooh,
He's
you're
literally
going to feel it.
trembling.
Look at him. Holy shit.
I couldn't believe what I was watching, to be honest.
Oh my goodness!
Yo.
This guy's like a World War II airplane pilot.
We're on,
amphetamines.
if you guys want to watch this, we're on Tom Stubblebine's YouTube feed.
Watch the video. Paul Italia goes crackhead mode.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
I can't wait to see him because he's going to be on the same card with me and the Chihuahua in
Yeah.
December. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. That'll be
Is that
exciting.
against that fluffy guy? Whatever. you're talking
Yeah,
about?
the Ryan Grondin guy who Paul
He's
called
self-proclaimed
Twinkie.
worst arm wrestler ever. Like, that's
I
what
don't
it
even
says.
I don't even know who he is.
He's not someone who's like, he's
Apparently they
good.
have some beef talking trash back and forth.
Yeah,
going
yeah.
back
It's
or
the
whatever.
98 thing.
You know what though? What's cool that I'm getting out of this crazy motherfucker right here is his series with Bob Brown, man.
It's
There's
super
a lot
cool.
of nuggets
Yeah,
in
there
there,
are
man.
some nuggets. Yeah.
It's full of magic.
Oh my goodness! Like shit
I
that
said
there's-
Bob Brown was saying some enlightening shit on our last episode.
Yeah.
There's
He
a
is.
lot. There's a lot on his channel.
is,
I've definitely. Well, I mean, even go back years. He has videos on his channel if you want to learn
Yeah,
different
yeah.
minor nuances and
I've-
technical stuff,
right.
which will improve your
anytime
game.
I have a question about like why am I not doing this or how do I beat this, Bob Brown, how do you beat an inside puller? And he's like,
the
well,
formula.
if you're a top roller, this is what you, and he goes into it.
And then that's the textbook. And then you just have to have enough strength to
Just
apply
strength
it,
to apply it.
and
That's
enough
the problem.
coordination to apply it. Yeah.
He just hit me up the other day to get Sky a match against LaFond.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I don't know if we
that a
can make it
match?
happen. That's the match.
When do they
at
want it to
125?
happen? Is there a date already set?
Yeah,
for
it's
that?
Bob Brown's big event, but
Is that the Brezent Cup?
Yeah.
November.
Yeah.
That's a great tournament.
What do you?
we
what-
kind of have things
you
going
got shit
on.
going on.
Triple.
We'll
elims.
talk about it some, but
That's
It's
something.
the-
That is
because Corey thinks she's gonna crush her.
really
Yeah. He's
Crush
pulled-
LaFond.
Yeah.
man.
Corey, who's Corey?
Corey Miller. When Corey Miller came out here and trained, he trained with Sky.
Yeah.
And when he was done, he was like, off with her head, bro.
Oh,
He's like, we'll make that match at AERS if you want to make that one.
there
Yeah.
you go.
Let's pull up Paul Italia on Aries. I want to see what his.
I think he's only done amateur tournaments.
I was gonna say when he's going
Yeah,
crackhead
but he
mode.
says
Is
next-
that amateur?
Yeah. That's an. That was an
That was
amateur.
an
One
amateur.
tournament.
Yeah.
He's only been to
Well, he
one
tore
tournament.
both of his biceps his first year and a half of arm wrestling. He went all in and he tore both of his biceps.
Jeez.
Oh, he didn't win that? He lost twice?
He
Oh, that was the Cobra Classic. So he did that tournament. That was like back in like May or June.
Scroll down. Who did he lose
And
to?
then his other turn, he lost against a guy who broke both of his arms. We had him on the podcast, Tyler Noble.
Broke his arms,
He was
yeah.
a chill dude. Yeah, he broke both of his arms. He broke one of his arm. I think it might have been several weeks later. He broke the other arm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tyler's broke.
are we not going hard enough?
Does he have
Within-
steel Right? Yeah. I'm a little insecure.
He
I
said,
am still too nice because I need to snap someone's fucking limbs.
yeah, he said that some medication he was taking, there's some side effect where it's like thinning of the bones, and that could have potentially be why that happened or whatever.
I would tell
Something.
people that too.
I would
So
too.
does he have
You
steel
know how
plates
long it would
in his
take to break
arms?
down
I'm
bone
allergic to
density
Does he
in
have
an
surgery?
adult?
Does he have a steel plate in here or what?
I believe so. Yeah.
Crazy.
So he's still arm wrestling with those steel plates.
No,
No, this is recent.
He's in recovery. This
Yeah.
is very recent.
Yeah, he just did.
He
this
looks like
like
this,
We
that.
just
right?
talked to him like a month month ago. Yeah.
Both his arms are fucking.
Yeah.
I think one of his is out of the cast, but I think the other one was still in. But
More power to him to keep arm wrestling. You gangster, you.
well, if you think about it, John Brzenk broke his arm. Auden Leratte
Yeah, he
broke
was
his
14.
arm. Dave Chafee,
Yeah, he was 12.
Dave Chafee broke his arm.
Yeah.
He was not 12.
No,
Dave
he was
Chafee
grown.
was, yeah.
Wasn't that his
And they
left
still
arm?
came back.
Michael Todd's broke his arm
Dave,
too.
Dave
He's
Chafee,
broke
yeah,
his
Michael
arm.
Todd
He's
broke his left.
blown
David
both
was
of
his right.
biceps out. He's
John Brzenk broke
Michael
his
Todd
elbow,
is like-
right?
Yeah.
It wasn't his humerus, it was
His
his
elbow.
elbow.
But-
elbow. Yeah.
Michael Todd broke his elbow too. I
Some
wanna say,
breaks
or was
are
it his
worse than
humerus?
other breaks. It's
Jake
fair to
Fussel's
say.
little brother Cannon
is.
broke both of his elbows.
A guy on
Apparently,
our team, Pap Daddy, broke his arm as I refed his match.
Apparently, David Dadakian broke his arm in that match against Prudnik on the left. They showed the MRI, but it was like a slight thing you
little
could see,
fracture.
but it wasn't like,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
people were saying that was just an excuse. But
I mean, it could have been there forever. We probably all have microfractures on
yeah,
our-
he said he had that microfracture from his match with what was it, Morozov back
Yeah.
in King of the Table, that freaking war they had.
I can guarantee you most people that train often and are taking this competitively seriously have microfractures in their ulna.
Yeah, I don't know if this sport is healthy. There's a lot of injuries in this sport.
My arm not going down screams, not healthy.
Ah!
It's, any sport taken to the extreme is gonna be unhealthy.
Oh, anything
taken
in
to
general.
a high level. Yeah,
Anything.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
For damn sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to take its toll on your
Hard
body.
to find balance.
I'm sorry, but when I found out that Daddy Count's 25 years old, I was like, "What are you talking about?"
He's only one
We're
year,
talking about
1 year
SARMs
older
is
than
what
me.
we're talking about.
Yeah, we are.
I don't think it was SARMs. Levon made a video talking about how the SARMs he was using, that's like one of the reasons he got bigger and people were scrutinizing it. Do you know more plates, more dates on
Yes.
YouTube?
Yeah, that's
He
why
was
I'm bringing
saying
it up.
He did
it
the-
wasn't
yeah.
just the SARMs. Obviously,
Yeah,
Levon probably took GH and
Yeah, but the SARMs is crazy. There's not any research. at
just
this point.
the SARM. Yeah, but you can buy it here and make some money off it.
Yeah.
It is
Definitely
not.
wasn't the gear. Click the link in the description so we can make some money off this
Yes,
video
yeah.
and you can buy
Oh
some
my
SARMs.
That
That
guy
video
that
is
he had talking,
That video was a
he
tragedy.
was like, "This guy's a biohacker," and I was like, "Seems like he's just a drug dealer to me." I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Neighborhood SARM dealer of Georgia.
Well, the guy I used to get acid from was a mind hacker.
Yeah.
Telling
He
you.
looks like he's old enough to have grandkids.
Yes, I thought he was 40.
As
I
I
was like,
said
oh,
earlier,
40
Marcus,
years
luckily
old,
arm
Jack,
wrestling
getting
is
it
not a
done.
beauty contest. Otherwise, a lot of us would be in last place. So.
Yeah.
Prudnik's winning
Yeah.
on looks.
The opera singer,
Yeah, he's a pretty impressive human being.
That's great.
for sure. Definitely
Yeah, this is a great
distinguished.
This was a great match. I love watching Daddy Can't Train, though, with Vovoda. And who was their trainer
Vovoda.
guy? Who was that guy?
Babkin.
That's his name. I
Babkin.
never know his name, but I see him
Babkin.
like he's over with Dennis.
The Arm
you know,
Olymp
and
YouTube channel.
Yes,
That
yeah,
channel's
yeah.
been popping off. They do like the arm picnics where they're in
Yes,
Russia and there's like
dude.
some lake in the background and
Yeah.
then Dennis and they're going swimming after the
Swimming,
arm. They're like
yeah,
cooking
yeah.
up meat. Like,
Yeah.
man, I want to be there.
That's
Shit.
super
We start
sick.
learning Russian. and
Yes,
move over
that's what
there.
I'm saying,
Yeah,
man.
just become a world champion.
Yes.
Just move to Kazakhstan. You know?
Yes.
Just living
Live in the
We
mountains.
just did fajitas, pizza, multiple tables, swimming,
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
arm wrestling.
I missed out.
EVW
I missed out.
on. You know, all we were missing was
You trying to give me the
Dennis.
FOMO or
No,
what?
we
What's
was-
going on here?
I'm
I have
trying
an
to
injury.
say,
I have an
Don't,
injury.
don't
yeah,
miss
yeah, yeah,
those.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was a
It was
practice.
They're
great,
magic.
man.
You can't
Those are
swim
magic.
because of your
Yeah,
injury.
they are magic.
I would have swam. I would definitely. You could get some
We're
sun,
floating
yeah.
in the
We
pool.
had
sounded
we
fun.
had a
Where was that at?
300
Right
plus
here.
pound
right here?
dude doing a backflip off the rocks out there into the pool.
Did he land that?
Is that Jake?
Yes. No.
No,
Corey.
Grizzly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, did a backflip.
Are you kidding?
No, dude.
Can he move his body like
Yes.
that?
I was like, you're not real.
Somebody
And
get this on video?
Oh my God, I didn't. Yeah, somebody did get it on
See
video.
that, Yeah.
I was standing there, and then I felt all the water go, whoa, and I was like, what just happened? I was like, don't tell me you just did the backflip. He's like, yeah, and I was like, oh my God, that's a sketchy
That's
shit.
awesome.
Yeah, because I was like, look, dude, if you crack your skull, I'm not gonna save you. I
Yeah,
really don't want to save you. And Ian goes, I'll be the one to save you. All I want you to do is a backflip.
Do the backflip, yeah. Ian, man, he's Venom.
He's Venom.
He's Venom.
All right, so what do we think about Devon Larratt going down to light heavyweight?
Not till he beats Saplenkov first. Remember?
No. He said after that he.
Yeah, after he faces Saplenkov in November.
No. He said after the tournament he talked about how he talked about Saplenkov and how he talked about Kurtagali on Gurbayev, and he said, I want to go after Dennis, but Kurtagali on Gurbayev is really going to be my focus.
There Yeah, it seemed like he's very focused.
Really?
on
Because it
Kurtagov.
seemed like
God,
he
I
said
heard
he's
him
gonna
say
he's gonna crush Saplenkov, and then he said after Angarbayev. That was my assessment or my recollection
I
of
think
what he
that's
said.
what he said on stage. As
Yeah,
he's,
that's
like,
what I'm talking about. I
adrenaline
think-
pumped. But
Oh, I
after
think he's.
that,
I
heard
think
him
the
say-
Dennis
there
match
was an
means
interview
everything.
after.
Yeah, why would
there was
why
an
would
interview
Angarbayev
after.
mean more than
The
Saplenkov?
interview
That
I
does not
saw
make
was
sense to me.
before.
I'll tell you, he explains why. He says because of the legacy you could make by holding
Yeah,
three
right,
belts
right.
at
But the
same
legacy of
time.
beating Saplenkov, the guy who beat him on the left, he wanted a match with him on
how
the right
about
for a while.
Dennis
I bet
comes
that
after the belt that he's got. He's got three
Exactly.
of them. So
Yeah,
the
because
super
Dennis,
heavyweight.
I would
Dennis
go
doesn't
after
hold
three.
any belts.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Why go
yeah.
after Dennis? Dennis needs to go after him.
Because he's wanted it forever.
He's going after 3 belts, dude. That's
All right.
way
to me,
cooler
it
than
seems
beating
like
Dennis.
I think he'll get it easy
would.
too.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's got to.
I want to see that
to
cut.
230.
That I want to see that cut. That'll
But
be very
is that
cool to see
happening?
that.
I'm imagining that's happening after he faces Saplenkov
He would be foolish
first, 'cause
Can we
he would
pull
want
up
to be
Devon's
bigger when
channel?
he faces
Because I
Saplenkov first.
swear he's got a video.
Yeah, I watched the video, but I watched it before East vs West. Not after.
No. I'm pretty sure this.
I
And
watched
if you
him
think
do the
about
interview.
the time frame,
and in the interview,
No,
he
in
says,
the interview, in this, it's one of those like selfie videos where he says, "I said Dennis,
but
and I said Angarbayev."
think about the ultimate timeline. Dennis in
Yeah, I think it's
November,
post-Ermes, this video right here.
Angarbayev in January or February, and then March or April, Levon. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Because there's no way he's not thinking about Levon in the back of his mind. There's no way. He beat Ermes more convincingly than Levon beat Ermes.
I mean, he has to go against Gennady.
And Gennady, yeah.
Gennady just
got
beat
injured.
him.
Gennady beats him, then Devon gets a title shot.
He was towards the beginning of the video.
Yeah,
But
I
are
think,
people even going to
Angarbayev
want to
is
see
cool.
him against Gennady after he just beat Ermes? I don't think they would want that match as much as they would want him versus Levon rematch. I mean,
Yeah.
which is selling more at
Is-
this point? You
I
know?
think
Levon's
the
still
Dennis
hurt?
match is massive.
Dennis
Levon's
right
still
now.
hurt,
Dennis right now, for sure.
Dennis looks crazy right now.
Yeah. Did you see the video of him on Arm Wrestling TV over there?
And
Just
it behooves him
pulling
to
everyone?
take the Dennis match as soon as possible.
They gotta
Because Dennis
announce
is
it.
going to get better.
I wonder if Brzezinski
or
versus
die.
Vovoda is going to be on that same card. That would be. Imagine that card. Imagine that. Main event:
legacy card.
Brzezinski, Vovoda, yeah, Saplenkov and Devon as the
Holy shit.
main
Yeah,
event.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
And Michael Todd versus Angarbayev. I mean, not Michael Todd. Todzilla. Todzilla.
Michael who? Michael Todd versus Todzilla.
Todzilla versus Angarbayev.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
that's the match.
It's the match.
Todzilla is
Todd
looking
just beat-
ridiculous.
Todd just beat John.
Maybe Todzilla versus Vovoda
Yeah.
at this point. I mean,
Yes.
we're giving Brzezinski the Vovoda match.
No.
Todzilla.
We don't even know
where
what
Vovoda
Vovoda is. Yeah.
I mean, he just put up like the lifts he's putting up are crazy. On some of those
Crazy.
pronation
And the
exercises.
training with Daddy Khan.
Well, remember he was doing those
I mean,
crazy
he
lifts
is-
He
before
looks-
but
pulling
his
John, too.
endurance,
He's always
man.
been doing crazy.
He's locked
Yes.
in. He's
But-
locked in right now.
Man,
He looks locked
he
in.
took a shit ton of time off.
Yeah, this lift right here. Yeah. He's doing like
That's insane right there.
147 on the pronator.
no, he goes up to like a full grown man, 235 pounds.
That's insane.
Those are all
And
insane.
look at the
Lifting
angle.
me off the ground, basically. Lifting both of us.
Yeah, he looks his training on that Arm Limp channel is sick.
Yeah, he's a smart
Like,
dude, too.
yes.
That guy's a
Oh, he's a craftsman.
Olympic gold
His,
medalist,
I don't know why he's not continuing making videos on his channel anymore, because when he started doing those videos talking
Those
about
were good,
training,
yeah.
they were so good.
You can only do so many of those. I think
know,
he's probably
but
focusing on
I'm-
training.
as a fan, I'm like, fuck, give me more.
Of course.
It's
Wow,
just so
that
good.
video is crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's ridiculously strong. You can't count this guy out.
Yeah.
No.
I had no idea this is where he was at.
Oh man, you got to see his training.
Some of the bicep
table
curls too.
training,
He's doing.
Not that I think he's
heavy
going to
bicep
beat
curls.
Dennis or Devon, but
Yeah.
But
yeah,
Brzezinski,
yeah.
I think he's the
he beats
favorite against Brzezinski.
yeah,
he
me
beats
too. For sure. But having Todd go against Angarbayev would be pretty epic.
I agree.
That has to happen.
I need to see that.
Which makes me
That's
think, is
amazing.
Angarbayev in the wrong weight class? Like, if you can have somebody as
the guy's
big
natty.
as Devon coming down just light heavyweight, shouldn't Angarbayev be maybe cutting
Middleweight?
down to take somebody else's
Could be.
belt?
I mean,
could.
the guy's
Is
got
that
the guy's got a
possible,
big
or-
frame. I think I don't think he's doing
is he
great
like
weight.
He's not a
6'2"?
small person. I think
Yeah.
he's 6'2" or 6'3".
Yeah.
Yeah, he's big.
He's super
He's also
lean.
he's also
super
natural too. He competes in WAF. They're tested and
Yeah.
their country tests.
lean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not beatable at all.
What about Sandris though? Sandris, he's gonna compete in the World Championships, and then after
Really?
that, I'd like to see him with a big match. 'Cause
Yes.
the guy's a monster.
He is a monster. He's going like back and forth. It seems.
What do you mean?
His wins and like.
I'd
his
like
com-
to
his-
see
his
Sandris and Michael
performances.
Todd.
I don't. For
242.
yeah.
Sandris and Michael Todd, I like that a lot. That's a great matchup right there. Yeah.
I watched that.
I think I would have Sandris.
I don't know if
as
Michael
the
would
favorite.
want that
I
match.
think Michael's looking bigger. I don't know if he's bulking right now, coming off that injury, but he's looking pretty hefty.
Fucking Adam Silver.
Yeah, here's Sandris pulling with Larry on the left.
Yeah, he looked ridiculous.
But you see, it's not a walk in the park for Sanders.
He almost loses this.
Yeah.
He is putting in effort. I mean,
Yeah, he can be stone faced all he wants. It's
That's called Lafayette face.
yeah, right. And he just did the old Devon.
yes.
Waited, came outside, came in those fingers. This was cool. Yeah, man,
Yeah, this whole event was cool.
it was very cool.
Yeah, probably my favorite one I've watched as far as a regular tournament being thrown. Everything was great.
Yeah,
Yeah. Master refs.
Yep.
which I was like, why
That's
don't
the
we
same
have
ref
like?
crew that did the AERS event.
Speaking
Yeah.
of refs, I think Luke Pulcher is actually doing a pretty good job at East First West. What do you guys
I
think
didn't,
about
so.
that?
I didn't
Yeah,
really
he
have any
gets in their
complaints.
face and everything.
Relative to how it used to be with some of those refs,
Right.
it was
Yeah.
hard to watch
Right.
certain moments. You
Yeah.
know, I feel like Luke Pulcher's doing a pretty good job.
I think so too.
Yeah, Luke got real crazy. I love that for him.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Yeah,
he
Was that
willing-
in the Ermes one or?
Oh,
which one are
and
you
multiple.
referring to?
Like he was pointing at one of their
Yeah,
faces,
yeah.
like we're gonna arm wrestle now.
Yeah.
What did he say to Ermes?
You got
Stop
to take
being
control.
silly.
You got to take control of the match.
no, he said stop whining and start
Stop
arm wrestling."
whining and start arm wrestling.
Yeah,
What?
It's an American referee right there for sure.
Yeah, let's go.
You know, while we're dadding you,
Oh, that was the first East, first West to the West.
yeah,
What the fuck?
Yeah.
And it was like
Took long enough.
convincing. Yeah,
six wins. Yeah,
yeah,
enough.
yeah. What
But
the
a
fuck?
lot of the matches aren't actually East versus West sometimes.
I know.
So.
right.
well, the six that were won were.
But yeah, those were all.
So there were 6, and then how many were there? Was it 12?
Overall, I think
it
10.
10?
Yeah, 10 matches.
Yeah, that was.
West making a comeback. I remember
Making a
for a while, it seemed like they were just getting destroyed.
It was
every
dire
time.
straits.
And the
I was
Georgians
like,
were just running through like everybody.
Yeah,
It seemed
I
the
mean,
Georgians
it started
lost
to
a lot of
feel.
matches this time.
It started to
Ravaz
feel a lot
lost.
to me like I'm tired of watching our guys show up jet lagged and get cracked.
yeah.
Can they
huge
do it
factor.
over here too and make it fair?
Right.
We
Huge
won this
factor.
one, so now they have to come here and
But-
take the
So
home field?
this will be the future of the sport. Look at how UFC goes to big cities all across
Yeah.
the world. One day this will happen with a promotion like East
Well-
versus West, New York City, Los Angeles.
Of course it will. It has to.
UFC
Paris.
was they were smart during COVID because they were like the only
Abu
fucking
Dhabi.
sport
They're
that
not
was on
not
TV.
playing with the
Yeah,
restrictions. We're
they
going.
were like, we're gonna make our own fucking island.
going to- yeah.
and
They'll
we're gonna
start
fucking,
traveling when it
going to
becomes
Abu
about the
Dhabi.
spectators.
Yeah, right.
Why do you go to New York if you're just in a theater that's empty?
and it's why
Ah, okay,
spectators,
to
you know
sell
what I'm saying?
sell
To
tickets.
sell the
And I
tickets.
guess arm wrestling is hard to sell a huge like arena out because
right.
they're so
Yeah.
far away. But in the same sense, like you think of like fighting, if you're like so far away, you can't really see. You're kind of watching on the screen
On the big
more
screens,
than you're
yeah.
actually watching the fight. So I
well,
don't think it's,
except that it's electric.
Yeah,
The room is electric.
Yeah.
It's bonkers. This will never do that.
yeah.
It's not built for that. It's built for.
But-
you say such a thing?
It's built for, but like what they did on for like WAL. Yeah, that was a great crew.
Yeah,
with
You
a lot
put
of paid
60
actors.
Sure,
Paid actors.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But you put 60 people in a room,
yeah.
and 30 of us love you, and 30 of us love him,
Right.
and you guys fight it out.
Right.
That's cool. It's never going to be thousands because
Right.
it doesn't have that kind of
That draw.
It's
Maybe
quiet.
not yet though. I don't think.
No.
I don't think
The
it's
sport is quiet.
You're wrong, Dustin.
It's quiet.
You're wrong.
right now. You're saying.
No. I mean when we
No,
compete.
you're saying never.
No, I'm saying quiet is in when we compete. When
You're
me
saying-
and him are fighting for hands. No
Yeah,
one's
nobody's like,
cheering.
yeah.
None
Like,
of
the
that.
crowd's
Even-
not going
But-
nuts.
Even
But
like,
I don't know if I agree
they're
with-
in a match. The cheer comes once there's a win.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Or it's
Look at the
unexpected.
world championships. Look at how much the athletes cheer at some of those world championships, like the Kazakhstan athlete, like in the crowd. Like you'll see like them pan to the crowd and they're like cheering on the athletes. I don't think necessarily
Yeah.
that would be the case.
Well, I think
Yeah, I
because
sort of disagree.
that country's all about it. But to your point, East versus West, there was no
Completely
fucking crowd
silent.
making
It's always
noise.
completely
silent.
Yeah,
Nobody
there's
was
no
making
crowd.
Every arm
I
wrestling,
think there isn't. We just
every
don't
arm
get to
wrestling
hear it.
event I've
There's
ever
no
been
crowd.
to.
No, we could hear
We
them
have
breathing.
somebody right
we
here
could,
who's actually been to an East
yeah.
versus West
Ian.
tournament.
Ian, how
is there
crazy?
crowd noise? It's loud as shit. People are screaming. Thank you.
Really?
I was gonna say personally, I've screamed for your matches, dude.
Like during
Yeah,
the
people
match.
will do
During
that. If
the
they're in the
match.
audience, they will do that.
Screamed.
Yeah. But
Yeah, so I
having
I
that
think
many,
I think that
people,
mindset almost.
you know, like the amount of people that watch a UFC match. I
it's
don't
so
think we
crazy.
can get to that amount of people watching arm wrestling matches, even if we had it in, you
It'll
know,
happen.
in person
the
or online.
T-Mobile Arena.
Obviously
It
not.
will
in
happen
person,
in
I'm
person eventually. It will happen.
I think I think
it's
we're
gonna be
setting a limit.
better
I think
Fist
we're
fighting,
setting.
Will happen.
yeah, fist fighting is something that happens to everybody naturally. Arm wrestling is not what happens to everybody naturally.
Yeah.
Fist
What are
fighting
you
is
talking
completely
about?
different.
What does that have to do with anything?
It has the
I
same
think-
thing to do with this. Look,
What-
if we're
I
watching
I think we're
baseball-
setting a limiting mindset on what the potential could be.
Well, like,
are,
just being
yes,
realistic.
and we have no idea. Yeah.
Well,
But it's only realistic
well, no,
till
no.
it's not realistic.
I'm saying that there's going to be more people watching online nowadays than going in person.
oh,
I'm saying that we
Without
can get
question.
a
but
shit ton
if
of people
they'll cheer
watching
online, they'll
videos
cheer
online.
in person.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no way.
Well,
it's,
we're just
they're-
talking about are people willing to buy a ticket to go
go
to
watch.
Vegas and
If there's an
watch?
East versus West
a big
event in
event.
Dallas in a huge stadium,
I'm
and
going.
all these matches are there, and
I'm
you're
buying
paying
tickets.
100%,
I'm buying
and are you
tickets. I'm
cheering?
buying
Yes,
it.
and if you're
That's what
filling
I'm
out the whole,
saying.
so it's just a matter of the sport hasn't gotten
Well,
to
I mean,
that
if we
exposure
got,
yet.
say, like we get like Marshawn Lynch, he becomes a fucking arm wrestler. That's a little bit different. Yeah, we're gonna get people filling the
I don't.
stadium.
So I don't
You
think
know
the
what I
sport
mean?
is
But-
inherently not to where
that
it,
kind
meant
of stuff
for
is going
filling-
to happen.
Yeah,
have
oh,
big
I think so
crowds
too.
and
I
fill-
think so too.
Stuff is gonna happen.
Oh, you think we're gonna fill stadiums?
When bigger names get in, yeah.
I don't know what you mean by fill a stadium. I mean,
mean,
like
Yeah.
They don't
stadiums
fill-
can have like hundreds of
Yeah,
thousands
they
of
don't.
people.
They don't fill the
Are
T-Mobile
UFC
arena.
are UFC
like they have like
fights
the
filling a
floor, and then
stadium?
it comes up. Like
I've been to the T-Mobile
it's
Arena with
not-
it completely full.
it's for UFC.
Yeah,
where,
completely
where
full.
is that? Is that in?
Yeah, but that's
How many
not.
people are in the T-Mobile
That's
arena?
it's not. That's not like Raider Stadium.
No,
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying
It's not a stadium.
You just said
It's not like a
stadium.
football
You
stadium.
said
like
stadium.
Yeah. Well, arena.
Like
I think.
You
I
said
think,
stadium, which is why I'm
Oh, so you're
clarifying.
just so you're talking just a little.
I think a smaller arena like the T-Mobile. We could probably.
Who knows?
Do
20
UFC
years from now, we
events.
may look back at this and
Be
then be
like,
thinking,
you
"Holy
motherfuckers.
shit!"
We're gonna laugh
Because
at
even in the
this.
past
I'm
3
just
years,
gonna-
the
I'm gonna
amount
be
has
a
grown.
limiting
Into the mic.
piece of shit mindset. Yeah, I think the sport's really cool, and I think it can be televised really, really.
But it's
cool.
never going to be that cool. Is what you're
I
saying.
think it'll
But-
be pretty cool. But if it does catch on, it's going to be online. It's going to be people
Yeah.
watching with their eyes, and
Millions
not in
of
person.
people online. I'm
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah. It's not going to be in person.
Like traveling, like
I think
like
online
if
can
they're
turn
in
to in
Vegas.
person,
I don't think I'm
could.
buying.
Why
a
would
plane
online
ticket
not
and
turn to in
flying
person,
to
though?
Vegas? To
It
watch
could, but I don't think people are doing that these days.
where like people
Not
fly to
these
events
days,
for
right?
UFC all the time.
It could happen.
Like celebrities all coming and A-listers all there to watch Devon arm wrestle.
Yeah.
If you ask Ryan
That's
Bowen,
cool.
he'll
It
say
won't be Devin
he'll
Laird.
fill out every stadium in
sure won't.
Australia. If you ask Ryan
Australia's
Bowen.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, Brisbane.
Yeah.
You know,
It'll
they
be
fill
the
all the
American.
stadiums over.
It'll be the American version of Levon.
Give me 2 years. AWE is going to be filling out every stadium.
Like,
Melbourne.
You know that your soccer stadiums are fucking huge. Like that's a shit ton of people.
World
you're
Cup
saying.
You're never filling that with
That's a
people watching
lot,
arm wrestling.
man.
Imagine.
I don't think so.
Hey, Ryan,
not soccer.
Ryan Bowen can
guy.
dream, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I think that the audience can be so big because it's something most males at least would do naturally
Yeah.
on a table.
Yeah.
But things
I
like
don't know
soccer,
what bearing that has. Because it's natural.
yeah,
Like the most popular sports are not natural. So I don't know.
Well,
what
no,
like
in
soccer.
America they
soccer,
are.
the most
Yeah.
popular sport. You
Yeah.
got
It is-
inflated balls,
Yeah,
a
that's
bunch
so
of
natural.
fucking
We
nets.
got-
It is natural.
We got
Well,
natural
natural-
soccer balls. all over
Fighting
the
is
place.
the most.
no.
I think
missing-
arm wrestling is more
as an
natural
athlete, you're
than
missing the whole
basketball,
point.
football.
Yeah,
I
you
am
don't
missing the
because
point.
you don't
Yeah.
understand.
missing
So
the
he's
point,
meaning
yeah.
natural in the sense that you grow up doing it.
Yes.
It's natural to you because in
Okay, so
in
cultural.
preschool
Yeah.
you
You're saying
play
it's not-
soccer,
We naturally
football,
do it.
baseball. In
it's cultural,
kindergarten you
yes.
play.
It's
In
not
first
part of
grade,
all
second
culture.
grade. Yeah.
That's-
it goes.
If you take an indigenous
that's what you're
culture, they
saying.
know how to. They might know how to fight. They don't know how to fucking do a layup. But you know,
Right.
That's
Yeah,
because fighting
exactly.
is natural.
it's DNA. Well, same with arm wrestling, right? 'Cause
Well, it's different from what you're saying.
It's a competitiveness.
It's
No,
not the
I-
same as what you're saying. 'cause
I'm
there's
saying two different
cultural-
things.
Right,
Originally,
exactly.
natural is fighting. So, like, if there's a baseball game, right? I'm not a baseball fan.
I think baseball's so whack.
I think baseball's boring. Okay, let me get to my point. My point is, the moment the pitcher rushes the mound and fights the fucking
Yeah, that comes naturally.
catcher?
to him.
Catcher rushes the mound. Yeah.
catcher rushes the mound, I am going to watch it with excitement.
Or
and
it's
so
the
is
batter
he.
that's
and
rushing
so
the
is
mound.
he.
People like
And
This
so
just
is
tells
he.
you how much
people
we
like
don't watch
excitement. They
baseball.
like the danger. That's why they like the trash talk when it comes
Well,
to
no,
leading
well, it's
up
just
to
like it's
events, too.
natural because you put yourselves in those situations as a child. You get in fights.
Well, it's just
You punch
part
each
of,
other in the
yeah,
face.
who we are. Yeah, we
Drama and
fight.
fighting is
Yeah.
natural too. That's
Yeah.
why that
And that's what I'm
attracts
saying
attention.
is that has no bearing on the potential of a sport and its popularity, whether it's natural or not.
It definitely does.
Definitely
yeah,
does not.
people connect to
The
things
most
that,
popular sport in the
yeah.
United States is football.
Because we
and
do
what
it
is
in
our
natural
childhood.
about football?
It's not.
guys?
It's baseball. But yeah,
Well, that's America's pastime. Definitely not the most popular sport.
it
in the
is
United
the
States.
most. That's why it's America's pastime.
Well,
it's because
I guess we
everybody
should
watches it.
define.
present time.
Yeah,
define
And
popular.
I don't like baseball.
Because people aren't
I
watching.
grew up playing baseball.
People aren't watching the World
Yeah, most
Series like they
people
do
do.
the Super
I did
Bowl.
too.
Most people do.
Nobody's watching the
And
World
soccer.
Series like they do the Super Bowl. There's
The
more
most
people watching
popular
the Super
sport,
Bowl.
but it's not natural.
Yeah,
though.
I think so too.
Yeah,
Here we
should
go.
all quit
American
and-
football is undoubtedly the most popular sport in America from the National Football League. It's
Oh, yeah,
because
the-
people
the-
are
and the
watching
NFL
it.
said it. Yeah.
Nobody's watching the
NFL
World Series. They're watching the Super Bowl, guys.
From
For sure.
Wait.
So the natural has no bearing on how popular
Yeah,
sport
they're
can
watching
be.
the watch
No,
the
no, no.
commercials.
We're talking
Well,
about
it does.
culture. That's what has a bearing on
All
how
I'm saying
popular
about
sport can be.
fighting is that fighting is popular worldwide because we all do it. Like everywhere. Football is not everywhere.
It's the
Soccer
most,
is
it's the
not
most
everywhere.
natural. It's the most.
It's the most natural.
I agree.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
That the ceiling on
What is
it
it?
is
It's
never
like the
ending.
base
But it's
level.
also not the most popular.
No,
And-
because it's
and-
fetal.
Right,
And
so we're
here's
talking
the
about
thing:
how we
arm
make
wrestling
arm
is
wrestling
more in the
popular.
sense that it's easier to do. Everyone can just have an arm
Everybody
and a
can do
table
it.
and arm
Everybody
wrestle.
can
More natural than soccer or basketball
Yeah.
if you don't have the resources.
And fighting, yeah,
or
way more better,
lacrosse.
way more natural than
Well,
fighting.
we're talking
don't
about
have
how
a
we make it
cage.
more popular.
low barrier to entry.
Low barrier.
But the ability to master it is super. It's hard. That's why a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah,
Arm
look at
wrestling.
that.
And everyone's afraid to break their limbs.
Yes.
Football,
That's what it is.
basketball, baseball.
They're like, oh, I can do this easily. I can get into this. But what can happen?
Then their elbows
It's
start
going to be
hurting,
very
you
hard for me to get to the
toothache
top,
pain,
and I
then
can
they
get
quit.
severely injured very easily.
And
So
there's
people are just like, nope,
no money.
I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Yeah.
kind of what hurts the sport from growing. How the fuck do we make that better? How
Well, there's
do
no
we-
money.
Yeah,
Once
yeah,
that
yeah.
changes,
getting there.
It's high risk,
comes.
low
It
reward.
comes.
Oh, yeah.
It comes. It'll come. Like
more
it's-
pay-per-views.
I don't think it's just the money is why people don't do it. I think it's the high risk, low reward.
Yeah.
In terms of
the big
I can
reward
get
is
good
your
at this.
community.
I could also snap my fucking
The
arm.
community reward is massive, and that's the part that I wish we could teach people. Community side.
I think the key is it needs to be a cultural thing, and you do that by starting with
the kids.
Kids.
Yeah.
This is
School.
my million.
Yeah.
This is where I'm going with it all.
Yeah.
Is it has to be in school.
School. Everything's got to start at school.